your headphone wire is on your left, but the plug is on your right. It's to the right of your. So like the wire for me has to be on the side of wherever the plug is. So if I were to turn my headphones around and do it would freak me out. Like this.
Mine's kind of in the center, but I know what you mean.
I can't.
So my headphones have two. How would you feel about that?
You have one on each side?
Yeah.
Oh, I've never even seen that before. And they like come down to a little V?
Yeah.
Well, no, I'd be fine with that because it's even, but yeah, I guess either way, if it came down in the middle, then it can go to either side. That's fine because they're even. They're even.
Gotcha.
That's the important thing is even. It has to be even.
Mine's kind of in the center though. This part of the problem is there's a pole.
There
right
is
here,
a pole.
and
Whoa.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the even odd thing that really, sound has to be. There's like sound in a car has to be on 16, can't be on 17. Like if the heater has to be on 6, not 5, or 2, not 3. Like I can't if it's a car that's not mine, I'll try to like slightly beep. If my wife knows. I kiss my wife. I have to kiss her an even amount of times. Like she knows that by now. Like,
so you've never kissed her once?
You know what? Probably and didn't even know it. I can't imagine in 18 years I haven't, but not knowingly. And she actually surprisingly maybe no. In fact, there'll be times where she'll be like, we'll go like and then she'll like sneak in a third and back out because she's being playful, and I'll be like, get over here. One more. Everyone's gonna die. Exactly.
That's everything everyone does.
Everyone does. If I, little things like if I scratch the left side of my cheek, at some point I will scratch the right side of my cheek. Like just.
I was telling Jason this, like, if you're lying down on the couch just watching TV.
Uh-huh.
So if I'm like watching like a game or something like that, I go and get a drink.
Uh-huh.
If I come back, I have to sit a different way than I was before.
Why?
Like I have to. I don't know.
Just
like and if
if you're sitting
you're
there
asking
watching,
why?
No. I'm not. But it's not a why as in why that's weird. It's more like tell me more.
Because like it feels weird. Like it doesn't. I don't feel like comfortable.
So if you're sitting on a couch and let's say you're leaning back with a leg, like your foot on your knee, kind of not crossed, but resting on your knee, or so I'm just trying to come up with a pose. And you're watching TV, you go up, you get something to drink. You're going to remember how you sat, and then
no, I don't even like.
You don't even think about it.
I don't even think about it.
You just
like if I do come back, like it's something that I know I've recognized now, so I just do it. But before I'd be like, oh, like.
Well, we all have things that we do.
What if the couch is full and you have to go to the same spot?
But then you like switch.
That's
your
if
feet
I'm
or something.
sitting.
Right,
like it's only if I'm like lying down.
What if you're watching with, let's say, a friend or something, and you have like you were watching the game, and your arm was around that person, and then if you were to go get something to drink, come back and sit down, you would just not have your arm around that person.
See, it's the lying down is the only part of it. Like sitting is fine.
I gotcha. It is. Hey, man. Hey, whatever works. It is interesting that we do think we all have tics, and I don't know if you do.
I'm sure I do. I know I do. But
like I pointed out to Chris the other week, I've noticed with him where he'll sometimes when he goes to talk, he'll move his lip.
My friend just pointed that out to me the 100%. Other day.
No, you've done that for a while. You didn't used to do it. But you'll and I again amateur doctor here, totally not. But I imagine it's what so like you don't have a stutter, right? But they say that like people that have a stutter, like there's a synapse in their brain that works quicker than their mouths or whatever. My guess is that the thoughts forming in your head, and then as you're getting ready to say it, you subconsciously like your lips start to activate.
Yeah,
and it's like it's something that's not noticeable unless you notice it. Right. You're a weirdo like me, but your friend pointed out because I remember when I told you, you're like, "What are you talking about?" And I'm like, "No, I'm not saying it's bad. I just noticed. I didn't know if you that was it. I expected when I told you for you to be like, "Oh yeah, I've done that. I've always done that. My cousin Vinny does that too." And
I think my mom might have. I think I asked her, and she's like, "Oh yeah."
Okay, because I kind of felt bad. I didn't want to be the one to break it.
She's like, my friend's just like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, I don't know. She's like, "Your lip is like."
Okay, so they were a little less tactful. It's not a bad thing.
What are you doing?
Yeah, what are you doing, stupid? Hey, enough of all that. If you've noticed, I'll use Chris's Chris's analogy, which I thought was perfect, that actually made me snicker to myself when I was reading it. If he sounds a little RFK-y this morning, he had a night last night.
Had a great night.
Now, are you working on the thing that?
Yes.
Oh wait, hold on. I got a text. 916-339-1140 is the text line. These are my favorite. Is this a sports radio show? No. Click. How was the event? And yeah, let me know if and when you have that figured out. By the way.
Okay. I can't do both at the same time.
So
it was amazing.
You went to the AEW wrestling at Memorial.
Yes. Perfect spot for a wrestling show.
Perfect spot. How come? I'm not saying that you're wrong. I'm just curious. Why?
One is like the history of like wrestling in that building is really cool. Like if you talk to like older people in Sacramento, especially the ones like, oh, I don't watch wrestling, but when I was a kid, I used to watch Pat Patterson and Ray Stevens and stuff. And it's like, at the Memorial Auditorium. It's like, oh, that's awesome.
Former Sacramento King Pat Patterson.
Yes.
Wow. I didn't even know that about him.
Did someone break glass near you, Chris?
No, why?
Oh, and I thought you swallowed it.
Jeez.
What's going on over there?
What is happening? On a Cheesecake Thursday, by the way.
So that was sat right next to our buddy Fresh. He also had tickets.
Nice.
He tried to like kind of put it, because we actually ran into him at McCooney's like before, because it's right over there. And he's just like, I'm like, oh, you're a WWE guy. I don't see you going to AEW. He's like, oh, I've got front row tickets. Like, what am I supposed to do? He's saying that, and then I walked right by him and had a little better seats than him.
How you doing? How you doing back there? You got a Kleenex for that nosebleed, Fresh? Is that a thing where like the WWE people and the AEW are like,
there are groups of that.
Yeah,
I'm not like that.
Gatekeepers.
Like I like different wrestlers for different companies. It doesn't really matter for me. I prefer AEW, but I don't have anything against WWE.
How was the show?
So good. So they had two shows. They're filming two shows. So live last night was Dynamite. Saturday, you might see me a lot on Saturday for Collision.
Okay, hold on.
When Dave and I watch it.
Yeah, when we're gonna be looking for you.
Yeah.
Wait, hold on. By the way, I think I know the answer to this, because you wouldn't say this normally, but when you said it was Dynamite, you meant like that's the name of the show, not as in JJ Dynamite. Like it was
Dynamite.
It was that. Okay, I got you. All right.
But it's packed crowd, super loud the entire show. It was one of the best wrestling shows I've been to.
Wow, that's high praise.
Sacramento showed up.
Did they? Were there a lot of signs?
Like not back if you saw like back in the 90s. There's a lot of signs, but not like too many.
I always wondered, how does that work in wrestling, at wrestling shows? Like, I pay my money, I want to see the wrestling, and all of a sudden some dingleberry in front of me is holding up a giant sign. You can't see me, or whatever they say, sign, and I'm going, I can't see you.
It's one of the things you just deal with.
You just deal with.
Yeah.
So basically you hit the whatever the opposite, you hit bankrupt, you got the whammy if you're sitting behind some Yahoo.
I think like most people are good enough that they're only holding up their signs when like not when there's wrestling going on. When like someone's coming into the ring, or like they're doing a break or something like that.
Gotcha. There's
no one really does that during a match.
Who in AEW gets the big? So like in WWE, everyone's doing their thing, and all of a sudden it's like, can you smell? And everyone goes, oh my God, it's The Rock. Like, who is there anyone that gets a great pop like that?
The one probably last night was Adam Copeland. That was a great moment, because he was the match is about to start. Mm-hmm. I said to him, he's the good guy. Kick his ass, Copeland. And the bad guy is wrestling Yuta, looked right at me and said, he didn't use an abbreviation. He said the whole thing. F you.
Oh, hey, wow.
And you loved it.
Wow.
I was like, oh.
Wow. Oh. Well, it's going to be like that. Way to talk to a paying what was the wrestler's name?
Yuta.
Yuta. Way to talk to a paying customer, Mr. Yuta. Mr. Yuta.
How many references to Sacramento, or any kind of things that stood out about that?
Well, there was a fight outside of a Memorial Auditorium. I'm trying to think. There wasn't many mentions of Sacramento.
How many references to Sacramento? Well, there was a fight.
But it wasn't inside the arena. It was outside. A guy almost hit somebody with his truck.
What? That's okay. We have. I don't think that's what Jason was
Not at
asking.
all. I was like,
I'm
the beam or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I think I sent you guys. There was no light the beam stuff, but I did send you that video of the Outrunners, the tag team.
Yeah.
Who was running up and down like Old Sac and Tower
From
Bridge
like the
and stuff.
90s. Yes.
Well, they're the youngest wrestlers in the world. They've been starting since the 80s.
Let's see here. Is my computer up here? If it's not, it is now.
Leaving Sacramento, Sacramento, there I go.
Is this what, 02, 03?
I would say 03.
It's important to know it's an 03.
Sacramento, there I go. They got some fat ass women there, and Rock is gonna just say no.
Videos.
Just say no. Well, I might take a plane. I might take a train. How do you people live here? You must be insane. I'm leaving Sacramento. Sacramento, I won't stay. Check this out. Check it out. But I'll be sure to come back when the Lakers beat the Kings in May. I'll be sure to come back when the Lakers beat the Kings in May. And that's number one with a bullet. Oh, no, wait a minute.
I've seen that a few times. That was The Rock in 02, 03 where it really mattered. I actually think, I don't want to say he broke character at the end, but I feel like there was a crack in character when he absolutely, like, everyone was booing and whatever. And then he brought that, like, he's like, your town sucks. Everybody sucks. You're the worst people ever. And people are just like, boo. They're like, and your basketball team is going to lose. And they're like, oh my God, I will murder you. I think that might have actually surprised him a little bit. You're ready with the video?
I am.
Okay. So this is Chris last night. You're gonna have to look very carefully at this. This is Chris last night. Watch as the guy is walking through. I don't have the live version, Chris, so just let us know.
Streets of Sacramento, but MJF seems lit up, fired up, and pissed off at Hangman. I had a talk with him earlier, meaning MJF. I'll get into that later on. But right now, Ian, we turn our attention to this contract signing. This is a lot more about a lot.
Oh, come on. Why did it freeze?
Great video, Chris. It's sideways.
This is the worst part.
It's too bad it didn't freeze at a different part.
It's not even like that's the end of it. I don't know why they can.
Just the number one contendership for the AEW.
This is a disaster.
There he was.
Let's see if I get back this up.
Even if you just
MJF, I'll get into that later on. But right now, Ian, we turn our attention to this contract signing. This is a lot more about.
Why is it just freezing at that moment?
Oh, no, it's the wrong moment. Sorry for those of you not on YouTube. We apologize. We're playing a video where Chris appears on the broadcast. Was that just
a lot more? Just the number one contendership for the AEW.
Is that like a dance of yours, or is that so?
That's
what they're doing in the background.
That's Prince Nana's dance for Strickland.
Prince Nana.
Yeah.
Prince Nana of the Nana family. Okay, so I'm going to ask you for two things here. Number one, I noticed that you used to, but no longer, when the beat drops on our opening song, you used to do a little thing. And now when we're doing the Jacksons to open the show and Jason and I do the hand thing, right? Oh, you used to do that. And then you've stopped. I would really like you
require me.
I would like you to do the Nana dance.
I think I can make that happen. And
secondly, and I know you're good at this, please do it, because if you don't, I'm going to, and it's going to take me longer. I would like for you to please text me that in GIF form at some point today, because that really is that is going to be my Kings win GIF, I think, for the rest of the season.
I like that. That's Good call. It's a very good call.
We'll take a break.
Do you know how I found out about that?
About that you were on the broadcast? Yeah. No.
Nick Cattles texted
it to me.
He did.
Of course he did. Made it all the way back to the East Coast. Yeah. Hey, take that. I didn't see Sprague on any of those broadcasts or Dirt.
No. Back row. They were the ones in the fight outside.
They were way behind Scott Fresh. Yes. I have a feeling Dirt and Sprague would feel just right at home in a that does sound like a wrestling audience.
Yes.
We'll take a break. We got a big show for you today, everybody. Kelly Brothers, he is good at business. He'll join us at 7:28. Sam Amick will join us at 8 a.m. for our weekly Amicking. Oh, God, I owe him a phone call and I didn't call him back. It's not going to be pretty.
Call him now.
That might actually have to happen. Leading off, Sacramento Kings lose to the Nuggets, and we're all fired up about it. We'll talk about it next.
On the move? Got somewhere to be?
Take Sacramento Kings basketball with you. The Sacktown Sports app will let you stay connected to your passion. Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with the Sacktown Sports app.
At Lowe's, our members get more. With the MyLowe's rewards programs, you can shop member-only deals for your home and business every week. Plus, members earn points on eligible purchases. So what are you waiting for? Join for free today. Lowe's, we help, you save. Loyalty program subject to terms and conditions. Details at lowes.com/terms. Subject to change. Free standard shipping not available in Alaska and Hawaii. Exclusions and more terms apply.
T-Mobile home internet is all about speed, value.
What you doing, Zach?
There are so many benefits. You got to talk fast.
T-Mobile home internet ranks #1 in customer satisfaction for home wireless internet by J.D. Power.
Wow, you are good.
Try singing it. T-Mobile has price lock.
They won't raise your rate on internet.
Hulu and Paramount Plus on them.
Get T-Mobile home internet all in for just $55 a month with auto pay and any postpaid voice line. Additional terms apply. For J.D. Power 2024 award information, visit jdpower.com/awards.
Let's do it. Leading off, the 3 top stories in the morning.
Huge news. This is very important.
Here's cut number 1.
In a game where they trailed by as many as 14 at 53-39. The final score in this one is 116-110. Denver improves with its 40th win of the year against 22 losses. Sacramento has their win streak broken, but still a terrific road trip for Sacramento, winning 3 of the 4. Their record now stands at 32-29 as they'll be going home to face the San Antonio Spurs on Friday.
Because it's a week after, Jason. It's the following week.
Gotcha.
To continue our off-air conversation. Nice. Yeah, so I would just go straight from there to there.
Got it.
And we'd be live at the thing.
Nice.
Well, yuck. I don't like Ed Malloy. You know I'm not like, unless it's 2002. Like I try to save the refs screwed us line for like things like 02. The refs were really bad last night, and I'm having a really hard time criticizing the team today. Like 3-1 road trip. I know I sound like a happy clapper, but 3-1 road trip. I think they should have won the game. I didn't see anything egregious that they did where I was like, I can't believe you did that. That lost the game. You're dumb. And I just thought the reffing was atrocious. And I don't know, did they break the record for like most challenges upheld that night? There was at least 4, I think.
Yeah, each team got 2 right, correct? Or
yeah,
2 of their challenges correct.
Upheld. And I really don't understand.
And there would have been more if they had allowed.
Which, by the way, I hate that. I think you should have, if you get them right, you should literally have infinity challenges until you get one wrong. If it's a wrong call, it's a wrong call. It shouldn't be, oh, well, there's been 2 wrong calls and that's the limit of wrong calls that you, dude, if it's the wrong call, as a matter of fact, every time you get one right, you should get a bonus challenge. You should get like +1, including the one you have coming to you, but whatever, it's stupid. The one thing that outside of the other missed calls, here's the thing I kept seeing over and over again. Like, why is it that Nikola Jokic is allowed, and I love Jokic, but why is it that he's seemingly allowed to go behind a player when Jokic is on offense? So like Keegan's fronting him. And then Jokic basically hops on his back and does the rodeo. And they're like, foul on Murray. dude, the amount of times Jokic was going over people's backs last night and they're calling it in favor of Jokic. I'm like, bro, he's climbing our guy's back. Right. Oh, well, he stuck his butt out too much or whatever. Yeah. The free throw disparity between Jamal, I think Jamal Murray had one more free throw than the whole Kings team.
Correct.
But overall, I would have taken 3-1 at the beginning of the trip. I'm the 5-12 guy for the month. They're on a great pace. They've got an emotional game coming tomorrow to break in the weekend. Jason, I can't be mad at this team one iota. I'm trying, but I can't.
Yeah, it just would have been an absolutely perfect trip with the win, obviously.
I mean, literally.
And they played really well. There's so many winning elements to what they did. I did think, like, if we, besides the officiating, I thought the third quarter they got a little ISO happy, and DeMar was great in that quarter, but I felt like they kind of continued that in the fourth.
Yes.
And I think, look, they played so well without Sabonis and Malik Monk, but as it went further and further into the game, just not having a point, like it felt like that showed up. But again, those are all that they still could have won the game. I mean, they were really good yesterday.
That's huge pieces that they were missing. And look, the bench still did well enough.
But 0 in the second half.
Right, exactly. That's the problem. And I don't know. You can't quantify this stuff. They're playing in Denver. Denver tends to do better as games go on. How much of that is, and I mean, I know I sound like excuse master here, but how much of that is just a combination of the refs? They're at the end of a road trip. They're, running out of gas. I mean, there's a lot of look, it's a loss is a loss, whatever. It's 3-1. They come back tonight and they've got, you just continue that stretch. Look, the San Antonio game obviously is going to be emotional. This was a game that I think everybody had them winning. And it's just one of those, look, just win it. Don't get caught.
Right.
Don't get caught on one of those first game back from a road trip. Return of De'Aaron Fox, all this crap, and you look up in the fourth quarter and you're down 8 with a minute left. Like, just step on their necks.
Yeah.
Keep going and move towards the Clippers.
We're gonna say this for the final 21, but this weekend feels like, I mean, you kind of have to beat the Spurs.
Yeah.
And then the importance of Sunday's game in LA is massive. Like they're just all important right now.
They really, really are. I mean, this is really where the stress test of the season comes. So we'll have much, 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 much more on this as the show progresses, including talking to Sam Amick as we come down the stretch here of the NBA season. In the meantime, cut number 2.
Cut number 2.
Oh, I'm supposed to play a thing here, aren't I? Said I was surfing the web. Here's Adam Schefter.
In a long line of pass rushers that are expected to be paid this offseason, Max Crosby kicked off the party today, becoming the highest paid non-quarterback in NFL history at an average of $35.5 million a year. That should end any speculation about a Max Crosby trade. He's staying in Las Vegas.
Well, that'll answer the whole, hey, are they going to trade Max Crosby question?
They are not. Not right now.
They are not, although that'd be weird if they did. Max Crosby, good for him. 3 years, $106.5 million. Dude's going to be flying business class now.
Yeah.
He's going to get the upgraded rooms, maybe even a balcony or a suite on a cruise.
And I think since he's in Vegas, he should bet it all. Just double it.
Whole 106. Well, yep. $91.5 million guaranteed, but he's got to wait for that. I wonder if it says anything about a signing bonus in here. He averages $35.5 million per year. That surpasses Justin Jefferson, Nick Bosa, and CeeDee Lamb on there as well. He is a very, very, very rich man now, and it's just more than him as a player, obviously. He is the heart and soul of that team. When you look at pressures on quarterbacks since 2019, Max Crosby, 324, Nick Bosa, 284, Myles Garrett, 281. When you consider how much those guys are double teamed, it means even more. So Raiders should feel good, and you got that new GM in there, John Spytek, and he's doing what he needs to do. Also, more football news we'll get to later as well, including a player released, one of many that could perhaps factor in for your San Francisco 49ers. We'll take a break. When we come back, let's get into the loss. Kings versus Denver. We've got audio for you next.
On the move? Got somewhere to be?
Take Sacramento Kings basketball with you. The Sacktown Sports app will let you stay connected to your passion. Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with the Sacktown Sports app.
Big savings are back at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop. New Hondas are piling up, and that means big savings for you.
Looking to own or lease? During the spring sales event, drive a brand new Accord or Civic. Visit us today at FolsomLakeHonda.com, your one-stop Honda shop.
As a family-owned and operated dealership since 2009, customer service is our #1 priority. Our customers love doing business with us, and you will too.
Folsom Lake Honda, yeah, your one-stop Honda shop.
Meanwhile at Xfinity. Okay, huddle up. Do you realize how many fans stream basketball? It's madness.
But real fans stream with Xfinity Internet.
Totally. We've engineered the fastest connection.
With reduced buffering and low lag.
'Cause making streaming better is what we do!
Yeah!
Yeah!
Can we let go now? It's really not a huddle with two people.
Switch to Xfinity Internet and stream live sports from the best seat in the house. Bring on the good stuff. Restrictions apply. Not available in all areas. Actual speed vary, not guaranteed.
One ticket, two huge shows.
The Sacramento Boat Show and the Big RV Show. Multiple dealers discounting all the best brands. Hundreds of wakeboard boats, fishing boats, and pontoon boats. Acres and acres of travel trailers, fifth wheel, toy hauler, and motorhome. And loads of ATVs, too. 2 shows. One massive event. The Sacramento Boat Show and the Big RV Show. On now at Sacramento's Cal Expo. Find discounts at twohugeshows.com.
When you're overwhelmed with tax debt, deciding what to do next is a true win or lose decision. You can lose your car, your paycheck, even your retirement savings, or you can choose someone to help you win this battle with the IRS. Now is the time to tackle your tax debt, but you don't have to do it alone. Meet Priority Tax Relief, veteran-owned and the expert in tax debt resolution. Our priority is fighting for you. Our team has helped clients save millions and can reduce or even erase your tax debt. Call 800-406-1584 right now to talk to our winning team. Priority Tax Relief has a direct line to the IRS. That's right, a fast track to find out if you qualify for life-changing tax relief in just minutes. Priority Tax Relief fights to protect your money, has 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau. Why wait? Call Priority Tax Relief for your free tax consultation. Call 800-406-1584. That's 800-406-1584. Let's make your taxes our priority. Stop your tax debt now. Call 800-406-1584.
Sacramento's premier country music festival, Country in the Park, is coming back May 16th and 17th at Cal Expo with Bailey Zimmerman, Billy Currington, Cole Wetzel, Nate Smith, and more. You'll enjoy food trucks, rock walls, and a mechanical bull, line dancing, and more. Single-day GA tickets start at $52 at CITPFest.com. Country in the Park, May 16th and 17th with Save Mart and McKee Brothers Plumbing and Rooter Incorporated. Find out more at CITPFest.com.
Confidence is knowing you're ready to handle whatever comes your way. That's what it feels like to take on your workday with Cintas. They make sure your AEDs are up to date, your fire extinguishers are tested and inspected, your floor mats are cleaned and delivered, and your workwear looks good, feels good, and is freshly laundered with the Cintas Apparel Plus program. So are you ready to take on today? Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
At Lowe's, our members get more. With the MyLowe's rewards programs, you can shop member-only deals for your home and business every week. Plus, members earn points on eligible purchases. So what are you waiting for? Join for free today. Lowe's, we help, you save. Loyalty program subject to terms and conditions. Details at lowes.com/terms. Subject to change. Free standard shipping not available in Alaska and Hawaii. Exclusions and more terms apply.
Hi, I'm Smokey Bear, and I made an assistant to help you out, because only you can prevent wildfires.
Hey, Assistant Smokey Bear, call me Papa Bear, because I'm grilling up dinner. You get it?
Yes, good job.
So what should I do with all these coals?
Don't just toss them out. Put them in a metal container because those embers can start a wildfire.
I understand. The stakes are high.
Ha, 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 ha.
Learn more at SmokeyBear.com.
Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
I learned patience from my adoptive dad. All he had to say was,
"Hey, you got this. Just breathe." Hey, we're pretty good.
Yeah,
Might have to start a band.
I got it.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care. You can't imagine the reward. Visit adoptuskids.org to find out more. This message is brought to you by Adopt US Kids, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, and the Ad Council.
You never know what you might hear when listening to a Sacramento Kings game.
Out of Keegan, going for another triple. Man, is he feeling it. Keegan, can he do it? Yes, there's number 11, Keegan Murray. Keegan steps back. He just knocked down his 12th three-pointer, a Kings franchise record. He's got 45 points.
Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with Sacktown Sports and the Sacktown Sports app. The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
On Sacktown Sports.
Starting a new segment today at 6:32 before we get to our Kings audio recap. I call it Kings Rewind Preview. You ready?
Sure.
Okay, here we go. Kings Rewind Preview. Here we go. What does that have to do with anything? I don't know. Stay tuned and find out. Kings Rewind today at 8:30. 8:28 if we're being exact. Good morning. Welcome in. Carmichael Dave, Jason Ross. A very hoarse Christopher Laud, having done the wrestling last night.
He wrestled?
I really honestly... How funny would that be? Like, how funny would it be to come up with an entire, which I know he has. I mean, unless it's just like the champ, but like a whole wrestling character for Chris. Like, what's his finishing move? I know what his finishing move is. Oh, I already know it.
What?
So like he's beating up the other wrestler, right? And then you have like the people's elbow, and you have the he hits you with the cackle, and he just laughs at a dude so hard in his face that he goes and breaks him. Yeah, he's absolute the people's cackle. Chris, sorry, we're coming up with a wrestling character for you if you actually wrestled. I think. Have you? Come on, how much time have you spent? And be honest, and don't say none because you're a liar on how if you were drafted into wrestling, what your character would be.
No,
saying none.
Really? Not even like, this is who I'd be.
I was a referee at a local promotion for about a year.
Yeah. So that's who your character would be, the referee.
The referee.
Hey, has there ever been a wrestling character that was a referee? Like I'm saying like not a wrestler that reffed. I'm saying that like you have The Rock,
was their bit.
You have the ref who used his backstory is he used to ref. He got tired of everything. He decided to get in the ring himself. He's wearing the black and white stripes, and his like finishing move is like the people's whistle.
No.
You're writing for him,
Vince.
You're welcome.
Are you listening, Vince?
But one time, the $1 Million Man got a referee and paid him to get a whole bunch of plastic surgery to look exactly like another referee and cheat Hulk Hogan out of the championship with Andre the Giant.
Any chance the other ref was just like an identical twin?
That is exactly what it was.
Exactly what it was. All right. Jonas Valanciunas.
How did you get that?
Here's Keegan Murray on the left wing. Gives it up to Valanciunas, isolated on the left side. Starts the back against the Joker. Spins to his left, draws a foul, score the basket, three-point opportunity, and kind of a crossover move to his right.
Mm-hmm. He kept going. Boy, Jonas looked good early.
Zach LaVine now has it on the left angle in two-point range. He's working against Christian Brown. Shovels it past to Valanciunas. The quick flip, around and down. Nice find that time by Zach LaVine for the assist. Lead back to 7 for Sacramento at 24-17. Valanciunas now has 5 points, also has 3 rebounds and 3 assists.
Well, new addition, Jonas Valanciunas continuing to impress, but he wasn't the only new addition, shout out Bobby Brown, to impress last
Slow
night.
post entry pass to the Joker, knocked away. LaVine comes up with the steal. He heads across the midcourt line on the right side of the floor, moves toward the middle, dumps to the left wing. Laravia going for another triple. He's got the bucket. Timeout taken Michael Malone, and the Kings have a 10-point lead just like that at 35-25 after Denver had closed to within 2 at 27-25.
From the 209 WWF referee, Dangerous Danny Davis. Ring a bell, Chris?
A little before my time.
A little before your time. All right, we'll continue with Jake LaRavia, who is just ravishing.
Here's LaRavia in the left corner, going to try again. Scores his third in 4 attempts over the last couple of minutes. Makes it 38-29. Kings leading by 9, 35 seconds to go. Here's a steal by LaRavia. He breaks ahead. He's being chased up and down. Scores it. Attacking the basket. Jake LaRavia, he's made 3 triples, and now with a steal, adds 2, and the Kings lead by 11 at 40-29.
Okay, now I'm building a theme here. One last highlight for the first half. Guess who and guess who else?
Jalen Pickett, who gives it up. Westbrook feeds a pass inside. Stolen by Valanciunas. It was intended for Jokic. Zach LaVine on the left wing in 2-point range. Now balancing the floor. Here comes the screen from Valanciunas. JV rolls. The pass goes to DeRozan. Swings to the right side to LaRavia. LaRavia now enters to the right elbow to Valanciunas. Back to Jake. He scores in a drive to the basket. Looked like he may have been fouled, but there was no whistle. Kings, however, have their biggest lead of the ballgame at 53-39. 5.5 minutes to play in this second quarter, and Michael Malone has called timeout for Denver.
Okay, so and there was a sloppy end of the first half, a little bit of a sloppy end there, but the Kings had a 10-point lead going into the second half, and Jonas Valanciunas and Jake LaRavia were the leading scorers.
Yeah, and LaRavia not only was scoring, but he was also guarding Jokic. And
That
Keegan
was
Murray was guarding
crazy.
Jokic. I really loved the game plan of what Doug Christie implemented.
So full disclosure, when LaRavia first got on Jokic, Denver goes on this like little mini, 6-0, 4-0, something like that run. And they call a timeout. I'm like, yeah, this lineup's not it. Like, you can't have Jake LaRavia on. What are you doing with Jake LaRavia on Jokic? And then they come back in. I think it was the same 5. Maybe Fultz came out. I don't know, but LaRavia was still in there. I know that. And that's when they just went on that crazy run. I was like, how?
Yeah.
How is this happening?
It was a lot like when the Lakers played him. They put Rui Hachimura and then left Jackson Hayes, LeBron, like others were just kind of hovering to be close. So Valanciunas, he covered him a very small amount of time, but really he was more like a rover. And he left Westbrook available, but by the end had a big night. But that's the odds the Kings were playing.
Look, if Russell Westbrook's going to go 10-20 and 4-7 from behind the arc, and that's how you get beat, that's how you get beat. Jokic ends up with 22, 15, and 6. I got to be honest, with 7 turnovers.
Yeah. He did a good job.
If you'd have told me, remember we were talking, you and I were talking, we talked to Katie, and was like, how do you contain him? And she goes, you don't, which we totally agree with. If you'd have told me that's what his stat line was before yesterday's game, I've said I will take it all day long.
Absolutely. They did a good job on him.
And on top of that, again, 19 points off the bench. As you said, nothing in the second half. We said the bench would have to come up. They did outscore the Nuggets bench, but it was 19-17. And really it was a tale of two halves, obviously, as we get into the second half. Here's DeMar DeRozan, who was struggling early, heating up a little.
Screen from Valanciunas. Spins the pass over to the left corner. DeRozan nails the 3-ball. DeMar DeRozan from downtown has 24, and the lead expands to 9.
I don't know how I feel. I've been struggling with it since last night. I just don't know, and we need to talk about it, how I feel about DeMar's game last night. Like, he had 35 points.
Yeah.
On 32 shots. Now, I don't care if a guy takes 102 shots. If he's efficient, he was in the 40s. He wasn't terrible. But was that a matchup situation? Was it just there? DeMar DeRozan should never go 14 of 32. Not him.
And that's even with a great third quarter.
Yeah.
Like, I actually thought he was a bit thirsty, a bit aggressive, and a little too ISO. Now, again, he had the big third quarter, but after that, I felt like the offensive continuity was lost.
Well, and it's interesting as we go to break here. We kind of need to park that thought, but keep it in the bank. Because one of the things we've been worried about, one of the big through lines we've been talking about over the last few weeks is how are DeRozan and LaVine offensively going to coexist? And is it going to be a his turn type of situation, which I don't think is conducive to the best of this offense. And maybe it was a blip last night, but it'll be interesting to follow over the next couple games. We'll take a break. When we come back, let's go around the NFL. Not just Max Crosby getting rich, but also a move yesterday that could mean something for the San Francisco 49ers. It's certainly going to be rumored, and a local great. Isn't a huge fan, it seems, of a potential number 1 pick in the draft. We'll talk about that next.
You never know what you might hear when listening to a Sacramento Kings game.
Out of Keegan, going for another triple. Man, is he feeling it. Keegan, can he do it? Yes, there's number 11, Keegan Murray. Keegan steps back. He just knocked down his 12th three-pointer, a Kings franchise record. He's got 45 points.
Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with Sacktown Sports and the Sacktown Sports app.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave for my good friends at American Energy. It's cold, and American Energy wants you to stay warm and make sure your system's operating safely. Here's the deal. A $49 tune-up inspection, which is regularly $119. That's a full safety and duct inspection. But guess what? If your system's over 10 years old, the tune-up is on them. That's right. It's free. Give them a call right now. $50 off your first recommended repair. And if you need a new furnace, half off the price of a new unit. Oh, by the way, breaking news, they're hiring right now. Here's the deal. They'll train you, full benefits, generous incentive-based pay. Just call today for more details at 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990. Not only great deals from American Energy, but possibly a new career for you. Check them out at theaeway.com for an instant quote and tell them Carmichael Dave sent you.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
Joe Montana here. In my football days, I knew the importance of a strong defense. Now I'm sharing how you can help defend your health against pneumococcal pneumonia and invasive pneumococcal disease. Are you 50 or older like me? The CDC now recommends vaccination against pneumococcal disease. Even if you're healthy, your age puts you at increased risk and over 6 times greater risk of hospitalization with pneumococcal pneumonia than adults under 50. Schedule your appointment today at vaxassist.com.
Sponsored by Pfizer.
With Progressive's collision coverage, my family gets up to $1,000 for vet bills if I'm injured in a car accident. And that makes this Chihuahua really feel like part of the family. What's that? I don't sound like a Chihuahua? Oh, I'm sorry. What exactly am I supposed to sound like? I guess all Chihuahuas are high-strung, riding around in expensive designer purses. Actually, I prefer riding in cars. So I appreciate that my family protects me with Progressive's pet collision coverage. Okay, maybe I am a little high-strung. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Not available in all states. Coverage for dogs and cats is included with the purchase of collision coverage and is subject to policy terms.
Coach Doug Christie here for your truck headquarters, reminding you that every deal at Folsom Lake Ford is a slam dunk. Shop all your favorite models on sale now, including America's best-selling truck for over 47 years, Ford F-Series, plus a huge selection of Broncos, Bronco Sports, and all of Ford's award-winning SUVs at FolsomLakeFord.com. Listen, I know a great play when I see one, and if you want to save on a new Ford, you gotta drive the lane straight to Folsom Lake Ford in the Folsom Auto Mall. Right now, buy any new Ford with 0 down on approval of credit. Save big with low interest financing, and Folsom Lake Ford always pays top dollar for your trade. So hurry to Folsom Lake Ford, a 6-time Triple Crown winner for sales and service excellence. That's why they're my trusted dealer, and they should be yours too. Tell them Coach Doug Christie sent you, or shop them online at FolsomLakeFord.com.
Sacktown Sports is bringing you the biggest live events in town. Whether you're rocking out or dancing the night away, check out the Sacktown Sports live events calendar. Crank it up with Steel Panther at Ace of Spades on March 15th. Then catch rising country star Alexandra Kay the next night, March 16th, also at Ace of Spades. On March 22nd, experience the magic of the Ronstadt Review featuring Jacinia at the Crest Theater. Then get ready for an epic night. Papa Roach and Rise Against take over Golden One Center March 29th, while comedy legends Jay Leno and Arsenio Hall bring the laughs to Hard Rock Live Sacramento on that same night. And for country fans, Lee Brice and Walker Hayes hit Ironstone Amphitheater on June 21st, and Parker McCollum takes the stage August 16th at the Ironstone Amphitheater up in Murphys, California. Don't miss out. Find more info and score your chance to win tickets at SacktownSports.com. The Sacktown Sports Live Events Calendar. Your ticket to the best seat in the house.
Waking you up with the best in local sports.
They just make it interesting, you know?
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross
on Sacktown Sports.
I'd like to get a like it or spike it from the two of you and also from the YouTube chat. Text line at 916-339-1140. Spotlight Whitey Gleason on Whitey. Jake LaRavia is so hot. Call him Saudi LaRavia. Tweeted that last night.
I like it.
I think I kind of do. I'm on the fence. Jason, Saudi LaRavia. He's so hot.
I don't want to like it.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it. I want to really hate it. But I'm a sucker for dad jokes. It's kind of dad jokey. Oh, not for nothing. On the flight back from LA, there was a couple in the security line. And they had a cat.
Okay.
And I said, and I was there with my buddy going through, and I just turned them. They seemed nice, and I said, hey, are you guys arrivals or departures? And they said, oh, we're leaving. And I go, so is it a me outbound flight? And I got like a courtesy smile. From
Wait, what?
Because they had a cat,
and
they were leaving, and I said, "Are you on a me outbound flight?"
Mm-hmm.
And she just kind of looked like, "Do I need to call security?" And he was just like, "I get it."
Did the cat go?
No, the cat jumped in my arms, and I took him home. I have a cat now. Saudi LaRavia.
Did you pull your back?
Did I pull my back?
Yeah, that was a stretch.
Thank you. So how do we feel about Saudi LaRavia?
Much better than me out.
Yes. That's a 10. Yours was a minus.
Saudi
4.
LaRavia is a 10.
Compared to
in comparison. Okay. Saudi LaRavia.
You have to do the whole thing, though.
He's so hot. Call him Saudi LaRavia.
Because just on its own, no.
Valanciunas to LaRavia for 3. He's got the bucket. And my goodness, he's so hot. Call him Saudi LaRavia. Any better? That help? No? You're still on the fence. Oh, you like it.
What?
Sorry, I took a sip of coffee.
What was all of that?
I don't think you like it.
Yeah.
I think you're fighting your inner demons because you're inherently a nice guy that wants to not rip Whitey for being washed and having terrible nicknames, not nearly as good as they were in the 90s, is what you were thinking. But also, Chris likes it. I'm leaning to like it.
How do you feel about Chris liking it and you're leaning to
that doesn't help. That doesn't help. Let's check in on the chat here. Do they like it? No. Well,
does this help?
Alrighty. Then the
does everyone need a nickname, by the way?
No.
Yeah.
Says a guy with a nickname. No. They don't need one. It's like the bacon.
Carmaker
Dave. Thank you, Mark Conte. Joey Bosa was released, by the Los Angeles Chargers yesterday. And of course, that's going to bring a cacophony, if you will, of shouts. Will there be a Bosa brother line? Bosa brother edge, the BBE, as we like to call it. Does everybody need a nickname? As I'm trying to come up with a nickname.
In the Bay.
The Bay Bosa brother. The Bay Bosa brothers. Will that come to fruition in San Francisco?
Well, we've got the Bash brothers, the Splash brothers,
the
Sack brothers. Watch it.
I will tell you this much, Jason Ross. I certainly don't hate the idea. Obviously, it would need to be it would need to be cost effective. In other words, if he wants to come in and make, oh my goodness, quite a bit of money, ain't nobody got time for that. Okay. But
bronchitis.
But if he's willing to take like a 1 or 2 year prove it deal, if it's something that can make financial sense, I love that idea. Look, there's no doubt that Joey Bosa is a very, very talented player.
Let's go get Myles Garrett for the Niners. Let's go.
I don't hate that at all. He's 29, so he's got a couple years at least, you would think, left. The problem with Joey Bosa is he played 14 games last year. That's great. 9 the year before, 5 the year before, 16-12, 16-7, 16-12. In other words, it's not a horrific record, but it's tough to rely on him. That being said, you're the brothers Bosa. To have the Bosa on the same team. Joey is obviously Southern California based. He wouldn't have to move. And all reports say that the Niners are certainly going to explore the idea.
Well, the best Niners teams they've had the last couple of years, they've had a great defensive line. Last year was not the case. So
yes,
they need improvements in a lot of areas. D-line would help, and he would be part of that. I think there are other choices, but yeah, I wouldn't hate it either.
Well, I would not hate that at all. As far as the Raiders go, Max Crosby has been extended. Not just extended, but he is
paid.
He got paid. He is now the all-time moneymaker when it comes to non-quarterbacks. And we talked about the idea of the Raiders trading Crosby as they are most likely. You never know, especially in the NFL, you can turn things around so quickly. But it doesn't appear that the Raiders are in a position to contend this coming season, probably the next season. But it sure looks like they're doing a lot of really good stuff and stabilizing that organization. So there was the thought of, do you trade him, capitalize on what you get back, and also, by the way, let him play for a Super Bowl at some point? Obviously, both sides did not want that. Great. He's committed. He's the consummate Raider. He's going to go down as one of the great Raiders of all time. He would fit right in there with Lyle Alzado and Howie Long and all those guys right there on the poster. So I love it for them. They make the decision. They made it forcefully, and that's part of a good organization, taking care of their guys. So although I thought ultimately I probably would have traded it. But I don't.
You would have got a lot for him.
Absolutely, but I don't hate the idea at all. We'll take a break. When we come back to Kings Denver and the sucky refs. We have some numbers to back up suckitude of the refs as well. We'll get to all that next.
You'll find Malik Monk is Sacktown Sports.
Oh my, what an athletic move that time by Malik Monk.
Hey Sacramento, it's Malik Monk and you're listening to the home of the Sacramento Kings, Sacktown Sports.
Your local sports leader.
Hey, everyone has a past, but what happens if you've made mistakes and made good on that past, but that past still keeps following you around? Are you looking for an attorney to erase your past records and restore your rights? Yeah, well, that's Jonathan Gonzalez. You can find him in the law office online at saclegaldefense.com or call him at 916-304-9187. Now, don't settle for less. He won't, and neither should you. And so this is an opportunity to get representation, to get the help, to do an expungement and kind of get your life back in order. But he also can help you with sexual harassment cases, auto accident cases, wrongful termination, criminal defense, whatever the situation you might be in. And specifically, if you've got questions, call him again, 916-304-9187. He's local. He's here. He's had a great track record. In fact, some of his meticulous case preparation has resulted in life-changing results for thousands of clients, and you could be one as well. Again, it's Jonathan Gonzalez right here in town. Check him out at saclegaldefense.com.
When I wake up
The best mornings
in the morning light,
start with Wrangler.
I put on my jeans and I feel alright.
Jeans, jackets, and shirts that get your day started. Good mornings make for better days. Wrangler, for the ride of life.
This is the story of the one. As a quality technician in a food processing center, she knows that making the right call is the best way to avoid a recall. That's why she trusts Grainger's world-class supply chain to deliver the high-quality supplies she needs to help keep her production line, her equipment, and her customers happy and healthy. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
When I wake up
The best mornings
in the morning light,
start with Wrangler.
I put on my jeans and I feel alright.
Jeans, jackets, and shirts that get your day started. Good mornings make for better days. Wrangler, for the ride of life.
They say that variety is the spice of life, and it's that spicy little variety that's key to keeping your workout routine from feeling routine. At InShape Fitness, we have everything you need to mix up your workouts, from studio classes to our turf and functional areas, with more than enough ways to keep things interesting. So, drop the kids off at InShape's Kids Zone, grab a workout buddy, and hit the floor, hop on a bike, or lift the weights. Just not all at the same time. We are InShape. You are ready. Join online today at InShape.com.
Danzig Live. With special guests Down, Aboth, and Cro-Mags. Saturday, March 22nd, 6 p.m., the venue at Thunder Valley. On sale now. For tickets, visit ThunderValleyResort.com. Don't miss Danzig.
When you're overwhelmed with tax debt, deciding what to do next is a true win or lose decision. You can lose your car, your paycheck, even your retirement savings, or you can choose someone to help you win this battle with the IRS. Now is the time to tackle your tax debt, but you don't have to do it alone. Meet Priority Tax Relief, veteran-owned and the expert in tax debt resolution. Our priority is fighting for you. Our team has helped clients save millions and can reduce or even erase your tax debt. Call 800-406-1584 right now to talk to our winning team. Priority Tax Relief has a direct line to the IRS. That's right, a fast track to find out if you qualify for life-changing tax relief in just minutes. Priority Tax Relief fights to protect your money, has 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau. Why wait? Call Priority Tax Relief for your free tax consultation. Call 800-406-1584. That's 800-406-1584. Let's make your taxes our priority. Stop your tax debt now. Call 800-406-1584.
Huge savings now on new 2025 Silverado at the Maida Chevy Silverado Supercenter.
With $10,250 off MSRP after rebates on select new 2025 LT models at Maida Chevy.
And Maida Chevy has one of the largest selections in the Sacramento area.
$10,250 off new Silverado at Maida Chevy. Now that's big, huge. See them all at MaidaChevy.com. Together, let's drive.
Not available with special financing, lease, and some other offers. 5 to be offered must 2011 or newer Chevrolet.
Made a great deal of Maida.
Something amazing is happening here. AI is increasing workloads on CPUs and GPUs, but this company's laptops are more than keeping pace. That's because CDW worked with them to future-proof their laptop fleet by configuring them with devices enabled with AMD Ryzen AI. Improve performance and free up resources with AMD Ryzen and CDW. Make amazing happen. Find out more at cdw.com/AMD client.
When might you be buzzed? When you suddenly love everything.
You guys, I love this song. I love these nachos. I love our kickball league. Oh, I love this guy. What's your name? You know what I love? A ride when it's time to head out.
If you see a buzzed warning sign, call for a ride when it's time to go home. Buzz driving is drunk driving. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
I love your car. Is this real leather?
KHD-KHD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
Sacramento's official home of the 49ers.
San Francisco.
Sacktown Sports, 1140. The Carmichael Dave Show.
He's on the microphone when he's not on the microphone. He's playing a song, and when he's not playing a song, he's on the microphone, and then boom.
With Jason Ross.
No, he didn't. Yes, he did.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on Sacktown Sports.
Inbounds comes to Levine. No time to waste. Runs up the floor. Chased by defenders. Dribbles it off his foot. Tracks it down in a double team and then throws it away. This ball game is over. Denver will be 3-0 against Sacramento in a matter of 7 seconds. Their hard work has paid off as they have rallied in a game where they trailed by as many as 14 at 53-39. The final score in this one is 116-110. Denver improves with its 40th win of the year against 22 losses. Sacramento has their win streak broken, but still a terrific road trip for Sacramento, winning 3 of the 4 Their record now stands at 32-29 as they'll be going home to face the San Antonio Spurs on Friday.
The great Gary Gerald, disappointed. I don't think disappointed at the Kings.
No.
Disappointed, as we all were, with the outcome. That game was definitely there for the taking. The Kings outscored 32-17 in the fourth quarter. And a lot of you wondering about free throws. Excuse me. 14 for the Kings, 30 for the Nuggets.
Yeah, 15 for Jamal Murray. He had more. He had one more.
Jamal Murray was 14 of 15 from the line. The Kings were 11 of 14 from the line. In case you're wondering, Kings Uni Tracker, fun follow on Twitter, put together some numbers all time. When the Sacramento Kings play in a game refereed by Ed Malloy, these are the three refs that ref last night's game. The Kings are 33-55. That is the third worst record with any ref. With Justin Van Dyne, they are 23-32. That's the seventh worst. Jenna Schroeder, 5-7, 11th worst. When Ed Malloy referees Denver games, they are 55-35. That's the third best. Justin Van Dyne, 35-23, fifth best. And Jenna Schroeder, they are 14-3 in games she refs. That is the second best. Now, Denver's also had a better record over the last few years than the Kings. Obviously, they're going to win more overall. But look, there's nothing more pathetic than tuning into the local radio station after a loss, and all you hear is the host going, the refs screwed. I'm super aware of that. That being said, the refs kind of screwed us.
Well, I mean, did you see DeMar's quotes?
Yes, he's gonna be a little lighter in the wallet.
Probably. But I mean, that's also a player's perspective, and that's emotional. That's after a game. But as it went on, I felt like Denver was frustrated. I know the Kings were frustrated. Yeah. So it just didn't feel like, there's some games where you just kind of finish the game, and I don't even think anybody makes a peep about the refs. There's always a call or two, refs, you suck. Okay, that's going to happen for all fans. But there were just too many. There was too many high volume of I think they missed that. And wait, that you're calling that? And I just felt like there was a lot of those last night.
Well, and to further underline how bad the refs were, we talked about it earlier. They had 4 calls overturned.
Yeah.
And the only reason they probably didn't have more is because both teams, that's it. You can't challenge anymore.
Yeah. And then, we get back to the free throws. That's obviously one of the first things. And I always look at that too. Go, wow, what a discrepancy. But part of it is, the Kings gotten the penalty. But were those the fouls they were getting they were getting called against Jokic was helping Denver get into the penalty earlier. And a guy like Murray going 14 of 15 from the line. And, when you have multiple people in foul trouble on one team and really nobody in foul trouble on the other team, sometimes it feels one-sided.
Keegan Murray, one of the team's 2 best defenders, had 5 fouls. Keon Ellis, the team's best defender, had 5 fouls. Jake LaRavia, who was all over the place last night, had 5 fouls. And as you said, the player in the most foul trouble was a 2-way tie at 3 between Murray and Jokic. There was no foul trouble. Yeah. So you're right. It is compounding because your guys get in foul trouble, so they can't play the defense they want to play all the time. The other team's in the bonus. You have to defend differently. They don't have to worry about that. You've got guys that have to come off the floor because they're in foul trouble. It's not just, they shot more free throws or Jamal Murray had 1 more free throw than the whole team. It's everything combined. And all these, I keep going back to Jokic climbing all over our defenders from the back and them saying, that's a foul because your butt hit him.
Yeah. And the other part of the wrong end of the night for the Kings, you mentioned the 4 calls that were challenged. All were overturned because each team challenged. The one that Denver challenged, I remember thinking, why is Michael Malone challenging this? The only reason I thought he was to protect Murray from getting his 3rd foul. He won the challenge. Murray didn't get the 3rd foul, but I thought, well, that's kind of a silly challenge because the Kings had the possession.
Yeah.
It'll be Kings ball. So that's fine if the Kings lose this. No, they changed the call to a foul on Valanciunas.
Yeah.
So not only was it not on Murray, it was on Valanciunas, and it was free throws for Denver. I went, wow, that was awful for the Kings. Later in the game, the Kings Did they win the challenge? Yes, but then the imminent possession was Denver, so it was like, yeah, it wasn't a foul, but Denver has the ball. And you're like, I just thought they got on the wrong end of a couple of those too.
Well, I thought the same thing about that challenge you're talking about, and unless I'm was either Ellis or Murray. I think it was Ellis across the arm, and I think that was the same thing as they were trying to save Ellis from the foul. So you're trading a challenge,
right?
Not for possession,
yeah,
just to keep your guy one less foul,
right? Which is what I thought Denver was doing, but they not only got that, but they ended up switching the foul to Valanciunas. So.
It was just not It's what you don't want to see. The Kings Kings didn't play perfect.
Not at all. No.
But, you're looking at their splits, for example, 46, 41, and 79. I'll take those all day long. 12 turnovers is perfectly fine. The Nuggets had 13. Their rebounds were pretty much even at 45, 46. It just came down to, the Kings had 4 more field goals, 1 less three-pointer, but they had 13 less free throws made in a 6-point game.
Yeah. Yeah. And again, the 17-point fourth quarter was a killer. I think they scored 6 points in the first 6 minutes of the fourth. And then the biggest thing of everything to me for the whole game was the non-Jokic minutes, because that guy is number 2 in the league. It's SGA and then the Joker for plus minus. When he's on the floor, Denver is dramatically better. And the irony last night, in a win, he was -7.
That's
so
crazy.
when he was on the floor, the Kings were 7 points better. When he was out, it was 22-9.
That's crazy.
Denver, and that should have been the opposite.
You're 100% right, Jason. That's a hell of a stat. And Jamal Murray was plus 21, which is crazy when you think Murray's plus 21, Jokic is -7. They're both sharing a lot of minutes too on the floor.
Yeah, I thought when the third quarter ended, because Jokic played all of the first and all of the third, and the Kings were still up 9. I thought, okay, this is actually a really good sign. It's 9. Jokic is going to sit out to begin the fourth. If it can get to like 15, he'll come back in.
Yeah.
And can you hang on? He came back in, it was tied. And then now you're playing an even game on the road with him on the floor. You're in trouble.
Yep, this is definitely one of those. Look, they've had bad losses. They've had losses.
This isn't their worst loss.
That's not. I have no ill feelings towards the team for this loss. I'm trying to find the criticism, and I'm sure we could nitpick. I think they played good enough to win the game last night, and I think the difference was the referees in the end. I cannot point. Look, if we're nitpicking, we can look at DeMar DeRozan's shot selection, and the volume there, and is that ideal for the offense? But speaking of nights last night, I just want to get this out, guys. This is a hell of a trivia question. Unless you've seen the stat, of course, only one NBA player all time in the history of the National Basketball Association has had, whether it's over the course of a game, 2 games, or his entire career, a 40-point game with 10 or more threes, a 40-point game with 0 turnovers, a 40-point game on 70% shooting, a 40-point game off the bench, a 40-point, 10-rebound, 5-assist game. Only one player throughout their entire career has done that. You know who? You know the stat? It's Peyton Pritchard of the Celtics, and he did all of it last night.
Yeah.
That's a hell of a game. That is a hell of a game.
In their storied history, he gets that stat. The first 40-point combo in Celtics history is Pritchard and Derek White.
I would have said you need drug testing.
It's like Bird McHale.
Reggie Lewis. Absolutely.
Antoine Walker, Paul Pierce.
Absolutely.
Paul Pierce, Ray Allen. Yeah. I mean, Tatum Brown.
Right. The first 40-point combo of their career, of the
history,
right?
Of that franchise.
Something else I was thinking about too, Jason, as we're kind of having fun with the NBA before we get to Kelly Brothers at 7:28, 3 for Madness coming up next. We'll just have a quick 30-second break. It's basically a half hour of commercial-free sports radio. I put this poll out this morning because it got me thinking. We were talking a little bit about this yesterday. As of right now, on March 6th, there are 2 teams in the NBA who have a combined 103-21 record. I'll say it again, 103-21. And that, of course, is Oklahoma City in the West and Cleveland in the East. And so my poll question is, just because I hate that I'm even asking it, but if We'll do the old bag of $100,000 for you. You got to wager it on one or the other. I'll ask you the same question, Chris. Will we see either Oklahoma City or Cleveland in the NBA Finals this year?
I would bet on that.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Chris?
No.
I'm
for two.
I'm so on the fence. I'm leaning towards what Chris said. Like, and it's 100%. They're not proven. It's not Boston. It's not LA. It's not someone else going to come in. Which said the same thing about Denver that year, and then look back and go, oh, well, Denver won the title. Shocking. They were the best team in the NBA all year long. Like, we should be thinking that the rest of the NBA is super cute right now, but this is a collision course between these two teams. And the NBA right now is rubbing its hands together, thinking about LeBron and Luka Doncic and the run they're on, Jimmy Butler. Now, imagine a Western Conference Finals. I don't even know if it could work out that way, where you have LeBron and Luka versus Steph and Draymond and Jimmy Butler. Would arguably do better than the NBA Finals. It'd certainly be close. And then you got to think that, there's a real chance you're going to have Boston, New York, and Cleveland in that mix as well. I cannot imagine anywhere at NBA headquarters or anywhere at TNT or ESPN ABC headquarters are they thinking, you know what we want? We want OKC and Cleveland, which I want to say are two of the bottom 5-6 markets in the NBA right now.
When LeBron was on Cleveland, they had no problem with it.
None at all. No, that's. But I don't think
it's not the same.
It's not. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander does not have. He's not in the same stratosphere as far as poll goes. And then, really, even with Cleveland, it's like, look, they have Donovan Mitchell. They got a lot of other really great players, but are Shai Gilgeous at SGA versus Donovan Mitchell? Now, for me,
right,
I'll go back to Bills versus Detroit Lions.
Right.
I love that stuff.
Yeah.
I would if my Kings can't be involved, that's the NBA Finals I want, no doubt about it.
Yeah, and the funny thing is, look, we got two national shows on in here on our TVs, and everything is
so great. What's on the left, Jason?
Cowboys
off-season outlook for the 19th straight day, and on the right,
is this LeBron's most impressive season of his career? So it's like, and to the point is, look at how hot the Warriors are. Look at how hot the Lakers are. Guess what? Nobody is hotter than the Cavs. They won their 12th game in a row.
Yeah.
And they already have 50 plus.
Yeah.
They've clinched a playoff spot. But the Lakers have won 7 in a row. The Warriors have won 8 of 10. The Cavs have won 12 in a row. OKC's struggling with 5 straight wins right now.
What does it mean for LeBron's legacy?
It's just a season's worth of work sometimes is on a team that doesn't have that, I'd say superstar. They do. It's just people don't want to put him in the same. SGA really might win the MVP.
Yeah, he's going to at worst finish second.
So and they were the 1 seed a year. They're not sneaking up on anybody.
No, and it's beyond a great story. It's one of the bottom 3 smallest markets that has gone through multiple rebuilds, that has built this team from scratch through smart trades, gathering of assets.
Yeah.
No big free agent splashes.
Yeah. So real quick, if it was if it was the Lakers and Boston with the same leads that OKC.
Oh my God.
It's over. Collision course, Lakers Celtics final. But why is that? Why is this not over?
Because the networks know how they make their money.
Because no one will watch, heaven forbid.
I want to start a network, and the rule is you're not allowed to talk about the Yankees. No offense, the Cowboys, the Lakers,
unless they're
LeBron
good.
James. No, not even if they're good. You're only allowed to talk. Small market network, SNN. We'll take a break. Very quick, 30-second break. Jason's going to tell you a little news about Overhead. When we come back, we're going to grade the recent road trip, go over this road trip, as I should say, in general, before we get to Kelly Brothers and Sports Business. 3 for Madness is next.
Friday night, Kings and Spurs. Game night with Scott Marsh and the high flyer Henry Turner starts at 5:30. Tip-off at 7.
The Kings play here on Sacktown Sports.
Sacktown Sports, 1140.
That's right. I do want to tell you about the Overhead Door Company of Sacramento. They are tremendous. And now I can say this firsthand. My wife and I, my son, we were all watching them install our new doors. It's almost been 2 weeks now. And we are so happy with our new garage doors. We had the old, ancient, antiquated dinosaur doors that we literally had to open by hand. They worked, they functioned, they were fine. But longtime homeowners, it's nice to have a fresh look, updated, curb appeal, all of that, and just the convenience. Now we can press a button and our garage doors roll up. We've got the app where you can open it. You can open it with the keypad on the side of the garage. I mean, it's just options. And they also look great. Got windows at the top. Just a clean, sharp, updated look. And they've been doing this for a long, long time. 70 plus years in our region, serving Sacramento and counties around the area. Look, they're at the top of the game, and these are the people you want to work with. The installers were great. Martin came over and he was a machine. He was just working right through and just didn't want to take breaks. We offered him lunch, offered him drinks. He's like, nope, I'm working. And he got the job done. And so we are pleased. I know you will be too. Check out their showroom for all their options or their website at ohdsac.com. Also call them at 916-421-3747. Ask about their March special going on right now. $150 off a garage door with the purchase of a garage door opener. So they're here to help. Overhead Door Company of Sacramento, the genuine, the original overhead door. Always look for the red ribbon logo.
3 questions, 3 answers. It's 3 for Madness on the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Here's question 1.
Well, it's not you.
Yeah. Is it me? Might be me.
Was you the other day.
Yeah. Oof.
Kelly Brothers joins us in about 10 minutes. Sam Amick. SAMMAMICK. Sam Amick of The Athletic.
I know I'm shamelessly pumping the poll here.
Brought to you by Jiffy Lube. He'll join us at 8 a.m. Quick note, by the way, 2 things completely off base, but had to get him in. Number 1, Jason, thank you. Last night's dinner was not pepper beef. It was pepper chicken because my wife had gotten chicken thighs to marinate in a teriyaki marinade. So we did everything.
Good, bad?
It was, dude, let me tell you something. It was so good. And just a really quick tip I love to do. So, we did the chicken, the peppers, all that, right? In a separate pan, I will, in a little bit of olive oil, I'll slice up mushrooms and I will saute them. You don't like mushrooms?
It's okay.
I'm not a mushroom fan either.
They don't do much to they're not they take on the flavor of everything else.
You were going to say they don't do much what? I think I know where you're going. Like they're kind of neutral.
I don't feel like they taste like anything, but they take on the yes, that's okay. But it's the texture.
I don't like the consistency.
You get a little bit of a woodsy flavor, and they're a little slimy.
I would take them out if I could, but if I eat it I'm like, I eat a mushroom. I just would prefer them not to.
I can't do anything about the consistency unless I was to super chop them. But what I did is I sauteed them until they were soft in olive oil, and then I add a little bit of salt, a little bit of soy sauce, I should say, to finish it off, and then an absolute handful of black pepper. And
you like pepper?
I love pepper, but what it does is it turns, and I served the mushrooms separately in a bowl.
Okay,
it turns the mushrooms into a condiment because each mushroom is absolutely bursting with this salty pepper flavor that goes into everything. So I actually make the mushroom a condiment. Anyways, your recommendation was dead on. We had a great dinner.
What else? Rice?
Yeah, it was all served over rice. I took the marinade, even though it was a chicken marinade, but I boiled it and reduced it so it became like a little teriyaki sauce put over everything. It was really good. Secondly, I want to announce publicly, and I'd love to get our PD in here at some point, but as some of you may know, we've had this contest going on between all the shows, different things like if things are posted on social media, if people appear on YouTube, whatever it is. Week 1 is in the books and the results are in, and we just no
the other
offense,
shows need a timeout.
I don't have this. Yeah, they need to gather themselves.
Yeah,
I don't know this for a fact, but I'm pretty sure this is true. I think if the other shows combined their score, we would have still won. That's how big of a blowout it was. LeBron James at the station, my butt.
King Kong ain't got shit on me.
And this thing's going on, I think, for 4 weeks. We're not planning on missing any of those 4 weeks. We're gonna.
The one I'm really worried about is week 4.
What's week 4?
Getting 2 breaks on time.
Let me tell you something, brother. Let me tell you something right now. We're not missing a break. We're going to come up with all kinds of things. I'm serious. We'll have a meeting about this. I want a 30-second air raid horn played 30 seconds before any break we have. And I don't care if there's a guest.
Bauga!
Yeah, absolutely. And then I want you to find one of them. It could be 10 seconds or 5-second countdown thing where it goes boop, 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 beep. I want all the audio tricks possible. My goal is that entire week, I don't want to miss one single break on time. We're going to win this whole thing.
Chris, how do you think he's going to do?
Not buying it.
Even more.
Yeah, just keep. We're going to lay it all day. There's no chance you're going to do it.
Be negative. You know what? Could you be positive?
You'll
be
never
like
do
me.
it.
Be positive.
You're never going to do it. See, this is going to work.
I think after that, Jesus, Chris.
What was that?
Turn your mic on so everybody can hear you, old man coughing. What happened? What?
Is he okay?
I don't even know what got him. I want to know what he got. We got Chris. What happened?
You need to be more positive like me. You said it so genuinely.
It's very genuine. I expect for these 4 weeks of contests to end, and afterwards, I would like to announce that we have for the first time, we've never done this, a tandem endorsement for a chiropractor company out there. Because we're carrying the station.
We can do it. Your name here.
Carmichael Dave, Jason Ross here for chiropractic.
Yeah.
We've been carrying the station for a while now. And
boy, does my back hurt. But not anymore.
Thanks, chiropractic.
Yeah.
3 for Madness question 1. Congratulations to us.
Yes. Way to go.
Way to go, us.
Grade the Kings' recent road trip.
Hey. I'm giving it an A. An A+ would have been 4-0. 3-1 would have been a B. 2-2 would have been a C. I would have just gone down the list, but I'm not knocking them down to a B. I'm gonna give them an A- because of how they performed last night. It's the last game of the road trip, and the refs really, really did. This is one of those times where you can really look at the refs and go, dude, you guys sucked an egg. I'm not going to punish the team for that. A 3-1 road trip, give me that all day long, especially coming out of that New Orleans loss into the break, Golden State out of the break. They've had a really good week. I'm proud of them. A-.
Yeah, A- is where I was going to. Not perfect, but really, really good. More good than bad. Even last night, more good than bad in the loss. And keep in mind, like anytime you play without Sabonis, he's so important to this team. Valanciunas has been great, but Sabonis is really important to this team. You didn't have Malik Monk. He's really important to this team. So they were able to play well without those guys. A-, just a little bit off the gas in the fourth quarter yesterday, but really, and even if some of Dallas didn't have anybody, Utah's not very good. Okay.
Right.
The Houston win was great. And last night they played a really good team on the road and had their chances to win. So A- for me.
By the way, we also need a sponsor for the most misunderstood text of the day from the 916. Yeah. Dave, you can't complain about the league handing the Lakers Luka, then turn around and be like, Lakers in the finals would be great. Literally the opposite of what I was saying.
I think maybe you said the leagues would say
the
that.
League would love to have the Lakers or the Warriors.
Yeah.
Or,
I think you would rather have 29 teams in there.
I would rather kiss my dad for 30 seconds straight than watch the Lakers play in another finals. That would be both of our reactions.
You'd rather have the Yankees in the finals.
Much rather have the Yankees in the finals. I'd rather clean out all the bathrooms at the Greyhound station with my tongue.
My French kiss my father.
Nope. Anyways, question 2.
Question 2.
Who was your MVP?
Sorry, dude.
Who was your MVP of the trip?
All right, I have an MVP and an honorable mention. I'll save the honorable mention until after you put your MVP in there, so I'm not stealing any thunder. I'm gonna go obvious. So Zach LaVine. Zach LaVine is Western Conference Player of the Week, and most of that week happened on the trip. This was really Zach LaVine's coming out party, if you will, this road trip, and hopefully he brings it home tomorrow and just takes a dump all over De'Aaron Fox and the Spurs. Figuratively.
Yeah. Zach, so I think I'm going to hit I'll get on the pick you had for honorable mention. We'll see. Jonas Valanciunas?
That's my honorable mention.
Yeah, I mean, to fill in for Sabonis was great. And even when Sabonis was there, he was great. He just gives them a different presence. I just love the overall size, the toughness, everything he's represented for this team. So, yeah, I would go with him.
I like the beard. Hey, who's your honorable mention? Do you have one?
No.
Can it be Zach LaVine, and then we can have
Zach LaVine.
Yeah, right. See, that's perfect. They both get awards.
Yeah.
I don't want to depress them coming back. I want them to both know they have awards.
We'll give it to them at half court tomorrow.
Their certificates are waiting for them.
Yes.
Question 3. Yeah, that one.
Did last night's loss dampen your spirits at all?
Trying to work up like other teams doing preseason for week 4 of this contest. I know we're a little bit behind here. So, no, it didn't dampen it at all. Not at all. Look, if there's an issue, if there's a problem, if there's something I don't like, I have no problem saying it. No, I feel a lot better. Look, I still have questions about this team. Don't get me wrong. I'm not fitting everybody for rings. But if I don't like the whole don't get carried away with a win, why? I get carried away with a loss. Here's the deal. I'm so impressed with this road trip. I'm so impressed, especially with the defense and how they're buying into Doug Christie's defensive active team principles. And last night did nothing. They played about as good as they could have played.
Let's take the last 2 losses. How'd you feel after the Warrior game?
Terrible.
How'd you feel last night?
I honestly felt encouraged.
There you go.
I came out of the loss last night.
They're both losses.
They're both losses, but there are, and I know there's a guy out there who doesn't put fruit in his drink who goes, losses.
Fact. Like if it knocked him out and you go, well, they played great, but they didn't make the play. Yeah, but that wasn't the case.
Right. There are nuances.
Yeah.
We'll take a break. Speaking of nuance, when we come back, a little bit of this Kelly Brothers sports business conversation. We'll talk about it next.
The only place you'll find Keegan Murray is Sacktown Sports.
Out to Keegan Murray, straight away for 3, and Keegan knocks down the triple.
Hey, Sacramento, it's Keegan Murray, and you're listening to the home of Sacramento Kings, Sacktown Sports.
Your local sports leader.
At Valley Strong Credit Union, we know that local businesses are the backbone of the Central Valley. Investing in our neighborhoods, boosting the economy, making the Valley stronger. But when it comes to their finances, where can they turn? A big bank that just sees another number? That's not good enough. Valley businesses deserve Valley support for payroll, credit, cash flow, and everything in between. Valley Business is Valley Strong. Learn how our cash management services can support your business at valleystrong.com.
1 ticket, 2 huge shows. The Sacramento Boat Show and the Big RV Show. Multiple dealers discounting all the best brands. Hundreds of wakeboard boats, fishing boats, and pontoon boats. Acres and acres of travel trailers, fifth wheel, toy hauler, and motorhome. And loads of ATVs too. 2 shows, 1 massive event. The Sacramento Boat Show and the Big RV Show. On now at Sacramento's Cal Expo. Find discounts at 2hugeshows.com.
This is the story of the one. He's responsible for keeping a leading healthcare facility clean and safe. And he trusts Grainger's high-quality HVAC cleaning and safety products, combined with their world-class supply chain, to consistently deliver, ensuring he's covered inside and out, so he can focus on keeping his facility clean to help protect the health of everyone inside. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Are you 50 or older? This news is for you. The CDC now recommends you get vaccinated against pneumococcal pneumonia. Even if you're healthy, your age puts you at risk. People 50 or older are over 6 times more likely to be hospitalized with pneumococcal pneumonia compared to adults 18 to 49. Just 1 shot can help protect you. Learn more and schedule at vaxassist.com. That's VAXassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave for my good friends at American Energy. It's cold, and American Energy wants you to stay warm and make sure your system's operating safely. Here's the deal. A $49 tune-up inspection, which is regularly $119. That's a full safety and duct inspection. But guess what? If your system's over 10 years old, the tune-up is on them. That's right. It's free. Give them a call right now. $50 off your first recommended repair. And if you need a new furnace, half off the price of a new unit. Oh, by the way, breaking news. They're hiring right now. Here's the deal. They'll train you, full benefits, generous incentive-based pay. Just call today for more details. at 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990. Not only great deals from American Energy, but possibly a new career for you. Check them out at theaeway.com for an instant quote and tell them Carmichael Dave sent you.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
All guests come to you from the Folsom Lake Honda Hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
Joining us now on Sports Sense, certified financial planner Kelly Brothers. Kelly is an advisor with Cap Trust, one of the nation's largest registered investment advisors. Cap Trust counts among its clients numerous pro athletes and pro sports franchises, but most importantly serves many Northern Californians through comprehensive financial planning. Here's Kelly Brothers.
Let's go. Kelly Brothers joining us. Good.
I thought maybe I missed my invitation to breakfast there, but I'm glad we're good.
Delay a game on us.
Yeah, we do have cheesecake today, though.
Oh, that's right.
It's Cheesecake Thursday that was brought in by a lovely listener, Roger. So we'll let you know how it tastes, Kelly, and you're always welcome to come down and have some.
I will do so. Thank you, gentlemen.
Also, real quick, Kelly, before we get started on business, I want to compliment the text line at 916-339-1140. You said Dave just loosely quoted Weird Al. That is 100% correct. I changed Manhattan to the Greyhound bus station. That is a hell of a pull by whoever. Wow. And I just want to acknowledge that. I love when people get references.
Can I give
yes.
you one of those, one of the great ones of mine in that realm? Years ago, I was I did an interview as part of the SAC Speaker Series with the incredible Condoleezza Rice, former Secretary of State of the United States, now
member of Augusta National.
Member of Augusta National, correct.
Yeah.
And at the Masters every year, by the way. And so I was interviewing her, and I asked her, "Hey, if your country called, would you agree to serve as vice president?" This was when Bush was president, and she gave me a lot of reasons. She said, well, about how she enjoyed her life now, how she woke up and she would read the newspaper and she wouldn't have to solve all the problems of the world. And she loved Stanford and blah, 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 blah. And at the end, I just said, so you're saying there's a chance. and her assistant came up to me afterwards and said, no one has ever quoted Dumb and Dumber to Condoleezza Rice before. That was outstanding.
Until now, which I'd like to applaud you for that, because had you said that John Denver's full of crap, that probably wouldn't have gone over, and that's a different quote. So Kelly, it's really just so people understand that, in the mornings, Kelly will give us the topics he wants to talk about, and we don't pre-plan those other than Kelly's got this on his radar. So Kelly would have had no way of knowing. Yesterday, for example, we've actually spent a lot of time, not just yesterday, but over the past few weeks. I'm obsessed with the Dallas Mavericks story. I'm super obsessed with it, Kelly, coming from Mark Cuban selling the team, which was weird. People thought he might run for president. He didn't. That team was his whole life. Now it's taken over by the widow of Sheldon Adelson, and they have run it completely into the ground. I swear to God, there's more to this story than just incompetence.
No, there is. And whether it's this dream of a high-end gambling enclave in Dallas, which I read about a lot, that they want to get to, but they got to tank the team to get there.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's any truth to that at all, but no matter if you're a Mavericks fan, though, I mean, Mark Cuban has got to be chewing through his fingernails right now. I mean, he ran that team for 23, 24 years, really did a very good job. I mean, they were competitive for a big chunk of that. But to not only trade Luka, but to then they lose Kyrie to a terrible injury, but then to raise ticket prices in the middle of all that 8.5%. I'm sure their fans are saying, "What are you talking about?" So I don't know if it is a planned tanking or not, but and then not only that, the other thing I find interesting is they kind of made up a name of authority for Dumont, the guy who's actually, I think it's Adelson's son-in-law. Is that what he is?
Yeah.
But they call him governor. He's governor. He's the Gavin Newsom of the Mavericks, I guess. I don't know, but they call him the governor, and he's the one who signed off on this. But I said when Kyrie went down, in our little family basketball text chain, I said, Nico Harrison's going to need security. He already
does, I think. Yeah, and so, Kelly, look, timing is everything, obviously, but they were in the finals. They're coached by Jason Kidd. They have Luka. They have Kyrie. They add Clay. Like, it felt like maybe early in the season was the time to send out, hey, here is what we're going to do for next year, raise the ticket prices. Instead, they couldn't have done it at the worst time.
No, they didn't. And they didn't, they didn't ad lib. They didn't audible at the line like they should have.
Right.
They should have come up and said, we can't do a price increase right now. What are we thinking? But they did. I don't know. They really look like they're they just want to get the mantle of the worst run franchise in sports, which is sad because they were one of the best for a long, long time.
Well,
and they're in one of the fastest growing, most dynamic markets in the country as well. Dallas, from a financial perspective, is blowing up. It's unbelievable. And yet they're just poorly run. So anyway.
Well, and on top of that, when you look at the valuations of these NBA teams and how much they increase year on year, I don't know. I don't have in front of me what Dallas has gone from, 23 to 24 to 25, 2023, 24, 25, but probably close to $1 billion in franchise increase. You add, it's an 8% season ticket increase. And you got to think, Kelly, not just from a PR standpoint, put that aside, from a business standpoint. Okay, so you're going to have people that will renew and you'll get an 8% increase. But how much is that going to be offset by the people that don't renew and your season tickets going down as a whole as far as total season ticket holders? You got to think those numbers will at best even out, but you just killed yourself from a public relations standpoint. I don't understand it from a PR or a business standpoint.
No, it kind of goes, any decision they make from this point forward will be seen through the prism of, this is an ownership group that is tone deaf, that has no ability to read the room. And so it's going to be a hard slog back. I mean, guys, let's face it. The Kings had that mantle for a long time. And only in the last 3 years have we kind of climbed out of it. And a lot of that has to do with the beautiful thing that is Golden One Arena and a team that was at least, competing to get into the playoffs each year. But the Mavericks, they're there now. They've dropped to the bottom. And so speaking of the economics, I just want to touch on, first of all, I was reading, there's a good ESPN article about the two Major League Baseball teams that are going to be playing in minor league stadiums. And interesting to note that their designated hitter there, Mr. Rooker, he's already bought a house in Sacramento. That's a good sign.
Yeah.
That's a great sign.
Moved in next door to Jason Ross, weirdly enough.
Excellent. Well, good. Bring him over some sugar. But they have to blow it up. They've had that situation in baseball. 25% of all the revenue in Major League Baseball comes from local contracts, which is why you have this incredible imbalance, which is why you have Dodgers and Yankees spending $300-400 million a year on salaries, and other teams spending 1/8 of that amount. So they're going to have to address it. They must address it. And it's probably going to entail, getting rid of blackout dates. In other words, being able to sell a streaming package that does not include blackout dates. Because if not, here they are talking about adding to expansion teams. There are a lot of people who think they should be cutting teams. And by the way, each time I talk about the A's, I'll just mention they have yet to turn over a shovel of dirt in Las Vegas yet.
Oh, that's coming though. Right around the corner, Kelly.
Wait, what will be built first? What will happen first? turn over a shovel of dirt in Vegas for the stadium, or are we going to build our first 10 feet of rail for the high-speed rail system? Which is coming first?
I will get a sponsorship for Colgate toothpaste for white teeth and perfect smile. That will actually come before
first.
Both of those. Yeah, last one, Jason Ross.
Yeah, so one more thought on baseball, where we're back there, Kelly, on that. Just the every time we talk about the future of baseball, like you said, maybe some people think they should contract. They want to expand. They have the contracts like Shohei and these 10-year deals. It still seems like baseball's doing well, even though financially, even though maybe it's not as much in the public eye and with some of these TV deals you're talking about.
Well, some are, and then some are not. And of course, the fact that you've had ESPN now come to baseball and say, you're just not worth what we paid for, and we're opting out, given our contract. And they wanted to pay about half what they were scheduled to pay. That's not a good sign. The national audience just isn't there. And they have to come up with a whole new system. I mean, the beauty of the NFL is everything is national, everything except for local radio. But that's why Green Bay can compete with the New York Giants and the LA Rams every year, because everything is national. It's not the case in baseball. They got to change it. One last thing, guys, just to show they're learning, because we know FIFA's corrupt. We go over that every week. However, they have announced that their final game of the 2026 World Cup at MetLife Stadium in New Jersey will include a Super Bowl-style halftime show featuring Coldplay. So they're going to go with a big halftime for the final World Cup. And you know what? The interesting thing about that, it'll have more eyeballs globally than the Super Bowl does. It will.
Wow.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I didn't know that either.
That's actually that's fantastic news, and I'm sure they won't be pocketing any money from that whatsoever. I'm sure Coldplay didn't bribe them. I'm sure everything will be nice and safe, and all human rights will be respected by FIFA. Kelly.
Hey, at least it's not in Qatar or Abu Dhabi.
That's a great point right there. Appreciate you as always.
Good to see you guys.
Good to see you. Have a great weekend. We'll talk to you next week. All right, see you. Bye. That's Kelly Brothers. We're late for a break. When we come back, the Nuggets rally to beat the Kings, and we've got your Jiffy Lube drive of the game. 1-800-920-1140. Get you a $100 gift certificate. If in fact you know what the play of the game was. Jiffy Lube drive of the game next.
On the move? Got somewhere to be?
Take Sacramento Kings basketball with you. The Sacktown Sports app will let you stay connected to your passion. Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with the Sacktown Sports app.
Whitey here, reminding you that not all grills are created equal. When buying a new grill, every detail matters. For March, grab a $149 gift with purchase of every new Napoleon Prestige stainless steel grill, including a pizza lover starter kit and much more. More March savings include up to $79 off Rogue models. Napoleon grills are built different, built better, built to last, with a lifetime warranty and premium stainless steel that boasts quality. See how Napoleon will help you achieve the perfect grilling experience. Visit Green Acres Nursery today with your best selection of Napoleon grills and accessories.
I'm Johnny Mosley with the Toyota Tahoe Report. Time to carve up new lines in your Toyota, because anytime you're skiing on a Thursday, that's a pretty killer Thursday if you ask me. Unsettled skies over the mountain, that's never stopped any of us, right?
Thanks, Johnny. Today, Tahoe will get a new inch of snow with a high near 32. Tonight will be mostly cloudy with another half inch of snow and lows in the 20s. Tomorrow, expect sunny skies with a high near 37. This report is brought to you by your local Toyota dealers. Toyota, let's go places.
Fargo, your virtual assistant from Wells Fargo, makes banking faster and easier. Like this.
Fargo, what did I spend on groceries last month?
And this.
Fargo, turn off my debit card.
And this.
Fargo, what's my checking account routing number?
And that's just the beginning. Do you, Fargo? You can in the Wells Fargo mobile app. Learn more at wellsfargo.com/getfargo.
Fargo is only available on the smartphone versions of the Wells Fargo mobile app. Wells Fargo Bank N.A., member FDIC.
Spring is in the air, and that means gigantic savings for all your oil change needs at Jiffy Lube. Today, get a $25 gift card with the purchase of any Pennzoil Platinum full synthetic oil change through May 31st at your local Jiffy Lube service center in the greater Sacramento areas. And don't forget about the additional $30 off online coupon at jiffylube.com. Terms apply. Valid email address required. See pennzoil.com/rewards for details. Jiffy Lube, huge spring savings for you today.
Big savings are back at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop. New Hondas are piling up, and that means big savings for you.
Looking to own or lease? During the spring sales event, drive a brand new Accord or Civic. Visit us today at FolsomLakeHonda.com, your one-stop Honda shop.
As a family-owned and operated dealership since 2009, customer service is our #1 priority. Our customers love doing business with us, and you will too.
Folsom Lake Honda, yeah, your one-stop Honda shop.
Oh, could this vintage store be any cuter?
Right? And the best part, they accept Discover.
Accept Discover? In a little place like this? I don't think so, Jennifer.
Oh, yeah, huh? Discover's accepted where I like to shop. Come on, baby, get with the times.
Right. So we shouldn't get the parachute pants?
These are making a comeback. I think.
Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. Based on the February 2024 Nielsen report.
Did you know your skin is the largest organ of your body?
Huh?
That's why you should shower with Old Spice Super Hydration Body Wash instead of plain old bar soap. Love your skin by super hydrating it with vitamin B3 and glorious notes of vanilla and shea. Did you know that my super hydrated skin is the second largest organ of my body? The first is my heart. Old Spice. Men have skin too. Old Spice Super Hydration Body Wash. 24/7 renewing moisture. With daily use.
The only place in the morning to get your sports fix.
Live and vocal.
The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Checking in on the chat. I don't know why. Chat's not having a good day today. Russ is whining. I guess. Alan doesn't like Coldplay. But the main focus of the chat is Mark Nash. I don't recognize Mark Nash, but he does not like Devin Carter at all. And it's like, what did Devin Carter do to you, Mark?
Wow.
Jeez, he's just getting started.
Yeah, he is.
But at some point, whenever I see a chatter, and thank you all for showing up, but I thought this chat room was to talk sports. That's where you've lost, pal.
On the chat?
Yeah, on the chat.
No, everything. There's no rules over there. Well, there are rules, but all topics are there.
Oh, I thought this was to talk sports. You'll be fine, Mark. Just relax. Carmichael Dave, Jason Ross, Sam Amick will join us next. I just saw this quote from you remember Adam Pac-Man Jones, right?
Yeah.
This kind of confirms what we all already know, but he was asked about NFL drug tests. And he said, I cheated the program. Like, I was really good. People don't know how smart I am, but like, I guess I can say it now. I don't play no more. But like, I never used my own pee for a test. Not one time. Not one time did I use my own pee for an NFL drug test.
Wow.
And I got to think that's fairly. Look, every player has a manager, assistant, to whoever. And I would imagine they're all got to bring somebody on at some point. I'm not trying to call him out.
I know someone.
Are we thinking of the same guy? Say it in my ear, and I'll tell you if that's what I'm thinking. No. No.
What? That's
oh, my God. I can't believe you remembered that. I actually forgot.
How could I forget?
This is a true story. I'm not going to call. Well, I guess I probably could say who it was, but out of respect,
yes.
I'm not going to. And this will be great because everyone's going to try to guess, and you're not going to get it.
You're very wrong. This is a long time ago.
You're very, or maybe not. I don't want to give many hints. There was once a person that worked at this very station that had to do a drug test, and they asked me to help them. And so they took, was it a Ziploc bag? I think it was a Ziploc bag. What? No, for real. What
it was like,
I can't believe you were. I've never
breast milk warmer.
Oh, it was. That's right.
Because he can't keep it warm.
Yes, he had to keep it warm, or she, and also had to keep it in a very strategic area. So they knew that, me, clean slate, straight edge. So they had me pee in a breast milk thingy, and then they took it to their drug test for the thing, and The great part of the story would be if they failed and they passed. But,
well, it's great because he hadn't been there in a long time.
Right.
And I'm just like, hey, man, what are you doing? He's like, oh, I just want to come and say what's up to everybody and all this, blah, blah, blah. And then you're like, here you go.
Literally handed him a bottle of my urine. And then he
apple juice.
And Chris is just right there. Wow, Chris. I can't believe you remember that. Yeah, actually, it wasn't Pac-Man Jones either, by the way.
So that wasn't the person you were thinking.
No, what I was going to say, I'll set myself up for this. And if he gets mad, he can get mad at me, and that's fine. I don't think he would. I think it would actually be kind of interesting. The person I'm thinking of that we could access, that I would like to talk to Matt Barnes, because I imagine Matt may have, maybe not, but may have, and if not, is aware of people that did skirt NBA drug tests. We're talking about weed, obviously.
That's who I thought you were talking about without saying.
Oh,
that's who I thought.
That's another one we would know. Yeah, different sport, but yeah. I don't know that he'd be willing to talk. I'd be actually kind of surprised if Matt hasn't already talked about this on his podcast.
He probably talks about it all the time.
I would imagine so, but I would think that like there's a very well-known thing amongst athletes in their league where it's like, yeah, talk to Vinny. He's got you set up. And you put on like a duct-taped, tubed baggie of whatever. And they're like, oh, you need some pee? No problem. Yeah, $100. And Vinny will take care of you. And you roll into the bathroom and do your thing, but it's not really your thing. It's somebody else's thing. And then, oh, hey, I passed my test. And again, I'm talking about weed. I'm not talking about like hardcore stuff or whatever. But of course, if you failed weed, you couldn't play for a long time. Meanwhile, if you jacked your knee up, here's some horse tranquilizer in your neck. Go out there and play, kid.
You passed the drug test, but you're very sick.
You're incredibly sick.
Yeah.
And you're neighing all the time. And you like to lick salt licks. I don't know. It's a big block of salt, right? That a horse licks. February 27th, Steph Curry had 56 points at the age of 36. And last night, James Harden had 50 at the age of 35. This is the first time in NBA history, two different players, 35 or older, had 50-point games in the same season.
Okay. Good for them.
Super duper love seeing stuff like that where it's like, it's a miracle. Barely alive NBA players at 36 and 35 somehow overcame their AARP memberships and were able to pour in 50 points. It's a modern miracle.
Well, what I will say about that, these guys are obviously Hall of Famers, but when people are like, he's 28 now, like,
yeah.
So he's 8 years away from getting to Steph, 12 from LeBron. Like, they're not done. Some guys are, but it's funny that's some of people's reaction.
Well, a lot of people too would be like, well, I could see it with like a big man or a center. You're never going to lose that size. Guards rely on quickness and this and that, whatever. No, not at all. 1-800-920-1140 if you have the Jiffy Lube drive of the game. Jason Ross, give me your game ball from I know it was a loss. Give me your game ball from last night.
I'm going to go actually to Jake LaRavia. I like what he did for the team last night. I know he cooled off in the second half, but one, he was asked to guard Nikola Jokic when he came in the game. And then when he came in the game, he actually had an incredible spark. These are kind of things I think now he is kind of further up in the rotation. I think that's good. I like his winning play mentality. That's probably where I'd go. I mean, there's several candidates. Obviously, they didn't win, but that's who I'd give the game ball to.
Then I'm going to do the opposite of what we did in 3 for Madness, because that was my game ball. I'll give it to Jonas Valanciunas then, because I think he continued. This is setting up a very interesting thing because, look, the whole idea of are the Kings better without Domantas Sabonis is, of course, silly. Domantas Sabonis is one of the best players in the NBA. But the Kings are a little different.
Right.
And there are some things that perhaps Jonas Valanciunas fits in. There are some categories that with this roster, he might fit in better. There's no way they're better overall without him. But what I'm really looking forward to is you now have this opportunity, Doug Christie does, and the coaches, to see which lineups are working the best with Jonas Valanciunas. What is working the most? When Sabonis does come back, now you have the ability to kind of tweak your rotations a little bit And I think overall, especially because they're having success, it's going to be really, not that it's beneficial Sabonis is out, but there will be benefits to him being out. We'll take a break. When we come back, Sam Amick of The Athletic joins us, brought to you by Jiffy Lube. And by the way, don't forget, tomorrow, big game, San Antonio Spurs, the return of De'Aaron Fox right here on Sacktown Sports. And Friday night, the Spurs coming in, Kings' first game back from a successful road trip, the return of one of the great Kings of all time, whether you love them or not. The energy in that building is going to be palpable. Hey, weirdly enough, speaking of energy, right now American Energy has got you covered with a furnace inspection. Yes, like I had last week at my house, and boy, did it turn some things up. I'm so glad they came out. $49 for an inspection for you, but if your furnace is 10 years or older, it's a free. All from a company that's been around since 1981. All from a company that has an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. Don't believe me, although you should, but don't believe me, the paid shill. Go to Google, go to Yelp, do the whole thing. Find out what other people are saying that have experienced the service of American Energy Heating and Air. Listen, you see commercials all the time from 900 different HVAC places here locally, all right? And they're all going to have similar commercials and whatever. But when you're talking about a family-owned and operated place that has an impeccable reputation with the public, why not give them your money? 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990. By the way, they're hiring. So if you're looking to switch careers or you're an HVAC person looking to advance your career, great benefits, great incentive programs, and they will train you with zero experience. 916-520-9990. AmericanEnergyAir.com. Tell them Carmichael Dave sent you. Jiffy Lube, Sam Amick from The Athletic joins us next.
Keegan Murray plays here.
Keegan scores another three-pointer. Keegan Murray knocking it down for 23 points. Snatch De'Aaron Fox for game scoring honors.
Sacktown Sports is your proud home of the Sacramento Kings. All power, zero compromise. Ego cordless outdoor power equipment features advanced lithium battery technology that exceeds the power and performance of gas without the noise, fuss, or fumes. From blowers and trimmers to mowers and pressure washers, one battery powers over 90 tools. No wonder it is the #1 rated brand in cordless outdoor power. Power beyond belief. Visit egopowerplus.com to learn more or to find an Ego retailer near you. That's egopowerplus.com.
For a limited time at Verizon, you can get our best price ever. That's 4 lines on unlimited welcome for just $25 a line per month with autopay plus taxes and fees. You'll also get the new iPhone 16 Pro, 4 of them for the entire family when you trade in up to 4 phones from our top brands. That's a new phone for everyone, only on the network you can count on. Verizon. Visit a store today. 20 monthly promo credits applied over 36 months with a new line on unlimited welcome. In times of congestion, unlimited 5G and 4G LTE may be temporarily slower than other traffic. Domestic data roaming at 2G speeds. Additional terms apply for phone offer. See Verizon.com for details.
Saving for retirement was tough enough for us.
Yes, and navigating markets can be challenging at times.
I understand. That's why at Fisher Investments, we take a disciplined approach with your investments.
Tell us more about that.
We take an active approach to money management, positioning your portfolio for opportunities we see ahead.
So all your clients get the same portfolio?
No, we tailor your portfolio to your individual goals and needs.
What about communication? We don't like being left in the dark.
We check in regularly to keep you informed on the markets and your portfolio.
Which means you'll help us stay on track.
Yes, our goal is your comfortable retirement. And as a fiduciary, we always put your interests first, because we do better when you do better. At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
Big savings are back at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop. New Hondas are piling up, and that means big savings for you.
Looking to own or lease? During the spring sales event, drive a brand new Accord or Civic. Visit us today at FolsomLakeHonda.com, your one-stop Honda shop.
As a family-owned and operated dealership since 2009, customer service is our #1 priority. Our customers love doing business with us, and you will too.
Folsom Lake Honda. Yeah, your one-stop Honda shop.
Hey, Aggie fans, Coach Les here. ESPN is coming to UC Davis this Saturday night to nationally broadcast our home finale versus UC San Diego. Let's pack the University Credit Union Center. It's an 8 p.m. tip. Come see T.Y. Johnson and all of our seniors one last time before we head to Vegas for the Big West tournament.
Come root on the UC Davis men's basketball team this Saturday night and show the nation what Aggie Hoops is all about. Get your tickets now at ucdavisaggies.com. Go Ags.
All guests come to you from the Folsom Lake Honda hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
Your local sports leader in the 916.
KHD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios, Sacktown Sports 1140. The Carmichael Dave Show.
He's on the microphone when he's not on the microphone. He's playing a song, and when he's not playing a song, he's on the microphone, and then boom.
With Jason Ross.
No, he didn't. Yes, he did.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on Sacktown Sports.
Well, welcome back. Carmichael Dave, Jason Ross. And he looks like one of those guys in a meme that I know Chris knows with those glasses on. He is from The Athletic. He is currently driving what I believe is his young son. Is that Landon? I can't see. And he is struggling mightily with the camera. It is Sam Amick. Sam, can you hear us? Good morning. No.
We hear him.
We hear him. Is there going to be a delay? What I'm afraid of is, he wouldn't. I think with the kid there, he probably wouldn't say anything rough. We'll give it a couple seconds, but I think, Chris, why don't you knock him off of the video? Let's do phone. I don't want to. I appreciate Sam's schedule and him trying, but I don't want to subject the audience to 10, 20 minutes of in and out. But he was trying. I also don't. This guy's poor kid in the car. I also want to make sure everyone's safe.
Absolutely.
And by the way, he was hands free.
He was.
Yeah. Just saying.
We'll get it right.
That's funny because the top text at 916-339-1140. Sam Amick is the best journalist in America. That's from Jane.
Hey,
Jane thinks Sam is the best. Hey, we don't. You know what? We're not going to
pass that along to Sam.
Oh, he thinks he had. Oh, he's. Kings beat the Nuggets yesterday.
Well, all of this is brought to you by Jiffy Lube.
Yes.
Yeah.
Jiffy Lube. Far better service there than what Sam is currently getting on the telephone. Who I see Chris calling him right now. We'll see if we can't break through the phone lines in Elk Grove, where I imagine he's currently at here shortly. Sam joins us. Sam, I know. Look, we appreciate the efforts, but I see you got a kid going to school. You got all kinds of things going on. We'll settle for phone this time, my friend. How are you?
Fair enough. I was trying, Dave. I was almost there.
I saw you. Saw your hand working the phone, and was that Landon next to you or Ryder? I couldn't tell. Yeah, that's what I thought.
Landon. Yes, indeed.
Also, I wanted you to know that Jane on the text line thinks you're the best journalist in America.
Thank you, Jane. Man, that's a good name right there, Jane.
Yeah, see, there you go. And I hope that covers up what I'm sure to be vitriol from you because I did not call you back. And I apologize.
You didn't. I was a little hurt by that, not gonna lie.
Yeah, sorry.
But,
called me at a bad time, but it's nothing,
all good.
Nothing
all
personal.
You were partying.
No, yeah, I was partying. Sam, Oklahoma City and Cleveland are a combined like 102 and 11. We were talking about this 103 and 11. I think we were talking about this earlier. We look up on the TV. Well, currently right now, because before when we looked up, it was the Cowboys off season on the left national show, and on the right national show, it was the current run the Lakers are Right now on the left TV national show, it's Peyton Pritchard and Derek White combined for 84. And on the right, Kendrick Perkins is saying right now the Lakers are saving the NBA. Sam, you work in a business in which you guys need hits. You know your view counts. Da. Is it just as simple as the national populace is less interested in excellence and more interested in market? Am I close?
I don't know. I think it's a little more nuanced. Man, you're grumpy this morning.
No. I'm just sticking up for the little guys is all. No. I don't mean that as a shot at anyone. I honestly, I don't. Well, maybe a shot at the other national guys. I know you guys do your work. I'm just saying, golly, shouldn't we be?
I mean, I hear you, but the human, like to me, the obvious elephant in the room is, and admittedly, I'm on the defensive probably as somebody who has written stories about Luka Doncic, like four of my past 6 stories, is, there's a steady drumbeat of OKC and Cleveland, which has been going on since October and has not, like, it's interesting and it's got to get covered, and the excellence has to be examined and analyzed and appreciated. But, the new developments are Lakers, Warriors, things of that nature. Who else did you just mention that was on the TV? Boston?
Oh, yeah, Boston, yeah.
I mean, defending champs. I mean, there's not. The Cavs' winning streak should be getting it's just due. We actually just had a nice piece on Shai Gilgeous-Alexander that Fred Katz did at our place that is getting rave reviews. I mean, I hear you in general. It's just the idea that it's like the Warriors, for example. Here's my comp. If you go back to their 73-win season, at least with that type of excellence, you had a record that they were chasing, and it kind of made it a more compelling storyline from beginning to end because of that history. OKC and Cleveland not in the running for that, and now both those teams represent squads where it's like, okay, you're incredible as regular season contenders. Now let's see what you do in the playoffs. That storyline doesn't come until later.
On the OKC front, Sam, I'm curious if you think it feels like it's SGA or the Joker for league MVP. Maybe Giannis still getting some love and a few other guys, but do you think SGA is in a position with record, with his performance, that it's his to lose right now?
I don't know if it's his to lose. I'm forgetting exactly how close the recent, the latest ESPN MVP poll that I take part in was. So I voted SGA, and if anybody doesn't know what I'm referencing, it's a pretty accurate poll that Tim Bontemps does at ESPN, where he reaches out to roughly 100 would-be voters. It's not technically the actual voters, but guaranteed it's a lot of them, if not most of them, myself included. So we anonymously put in our top 5, and then you get to take a pulse on the race. And, I believe SGA was out front. I just don't know by how much. It's, that calculus of like OKC being as dominant as they are, combined with like the one stat that I think is keeping him ahead of Joker, because it's typically been the stat that the Joker dominates more than anybody else, is what happens to his team when that guy's not on the floor.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And SGA's on-off number is just as dominant as Joker's. Not only that, there's all these lineups with the Thunder that are really, really fascinating and impressive where, no Jalen Williams, no Isaiah Hartenstein, no Lou Dort, I believe. And the Thunder with Shai still dominate, which is, that cuts into the fact that, man, you're taking your best players off the floor and he's still that good. So, Joker, I do think is right there. It's tricky because, in a vacuum, Joker's season is arguably better than any of his MVP seasons. Mm-hmm. So it makes for a pretty high level, fascinating MVP race.
Sam, you and I have both been critical and have at separate times and simultaneously gotten killed for it by some of the fan base of the Sacramento Kings, and whether it's their moves, the Fox situation, the personnel, the mix, and all that. And look, nobody wants to start fitting anybody for rings yet. It's a good 4-game stretch, but hey, 3-1 on the road trip. I think they should have won last night. I'm not a refs guy unless it's 2002, but I thought the refs were. Ed Malloy had a terrible night last night. This team comes back for a very emotional game tomorrow versus De'Aaron Fox and the San Antonio Spurs, and right now it looks like they're buying in a little bit from Doug Christie on defense, which is something we'd hope they do leading in.
No, they look good. They do for sure. By the way, shout out Ty Jerome, the Cavs guard who called out Natalie, the referee, the other day. That's who you sound like, just putting Ed Malloy on blast. Calling him out by name.
He was not great. Even DeMar DeRozan yelled about him. Yeah. Even DeMar DeRozan was yelling about the guy.
Yeah, and I get it. I mean, I watched the game, and certainly I think they had one free throw in the second half, if not the last three quarters. So, that part was pretty imbalanced. They look good. And that like measured tone you're hearing is, I admittedly just can't wrap my head around what I think of them as a group, because especially with Fox coming back, it just underscores the fact that it's, and I've kind of shared this opinion even with the Kings, where like, no, it's good. And I mean, this fan base should never forget that, like, if they can get to the playoffs, that matters. If they can have 3 consecutive winning seasons after 16 losing seasons in a row, that matters. It's still, though, when I look at it, it's like, the ceiling is pretty low, and they don't have as much, at least for now, of a kind of a vision or a plan in terms of, which guys. I mean, you went from the Fox, Sabonis, Keegan Murray, then adding DeMar to it, kind of core to this, the kind of Bulls West with DeMar and Zach, and Jonas has been great, especially with Sabonis' injury. So, I mean, there are a bunch of pros, with Doug doing a really nice job. I think they're 19-11 since Doug took over. So like right now it's good. It's, right. I'm very curious to see. My head, I guess, admittedly is already a little bit in the off season when it comes to this team.
Sure.
Well, I know a lot, we've already talked about it some, but now we're here, Sam, for tomorrow night. I mean, Kings Spurs, it's important for the Kings in the standings. For the fans, it may be important for the emotions of some, I'm sure, will cheer De'Aaron Fox. Some, I'm sure, will jeer him and go the other way. Now that we're here and, they're without Wembanyama, the Kings are doing what they're doing. Just love your overall thought on just kind of a prediction on how you think, not the game, but just Fox's night, his reception and all, how he'll handle tomorrow night will go.
Yeah, we'll see. I do think it's one of those times, and we've talked about this, where we're about to see how wide the disconnect is between social media and real life, in terms of the booing. And, because if you went just by social media, you would think it's going to be, pretty spirited and pretty negative in his direction. I mean, actually, enough to throw it back at you guys, like, what in your recollection is kind of the most toxic, booing type Kings environment that you can remember with somebody coming back, or with any sort of, Kings home game environment?
Buddy Hield every time he touched the ball.
Yeah, most recently it was Buddy. Spencer Hawes.
Bagley did too.
There's Jason Terry. But I think honestly, Hawes and Buddy were probably the biggest. I think it's funny you mentioned social media, Sam, because I actually put a poll out on social media, which, of course it's a small segment, but it did surprise me. It was like 75% were either going to cheer or not emote at all. 25% said they would boo. And I imagine tomorrow, here's my prediction. I think it will be very much dominated by cheers, but I think there will be enough people booing to where you'll be able to hear it in the arena and on the broadcast. They'll cut through.
Sure.
And then it'll piss over. Oh, here we are. Oh, here we go. And then of course, what we hope doesn't happen is that he hears the booze, it pisses him off, and he goes for 50.
I mean, that probably will. I mean, that's his wiring.
Yeah.
That's a heck of a list you shared, by the way, of those different guys. It's such a random cast of characters.
Mm-hmm. Well, Spencer Hawes was always in. I always
get because that one I get, right? Because
Yeah.
that was the Seattle stuff.
That was the Seattle stuff. Buddy already had kind of a weird relationship with the fan base, but then he said that he was caught on camera saying Sacramento can do something that you don't want to say out loud to him. And then what was the Marvin? Yeah, the Marvin one
wasn't Luka.
And those boos were also, I think, a little more for his dad. I always felt like those boos weren't on Marvin himself. But the Fox thing, look, Fox has always been pretty straightforward in how he thinks. And some people, myself and you included, get it, or I shouldn't say get it, aren't bothered by it and see it differently, and others see it as a swipe at the city, and that they paid their money, they'll have their feelings known.
Yeah. I mean, I will say the distinction you just made shouldn't be forgotten regarding, Spencer, Buddy, those are at the city perceived attacks. You know what I mean? De'Aaron calling out dysfunction within an organization that is widely known to be historically dysfunctional that's at the organization. That's not at the city.
Right.
And, so admittedly, I would like to see him get appreciated as somebody who put in good time.
Well, I'm sorry. I was going to say, Sam, you and I are in lockstep on this, but I would say, and you've seen this too, I don't know how much of it is that and the real issue being whether true or not that De'Aaron Fox and Rich Paul forced Sacramento's hand and Monty's hand to make the trade to only one place, which lowered the value, which in turn screwed the Kings. Plus, also someone unfollowed somebody on Instagram, I think. I don't know. But I feel like that's really more of the pulse of the anger. I could be wrong.
No, that's fair. I mean, at least I guess accurate is the word. It does seem pretty evident and not really disputable at this point that at least at the end, Domas and Fox were not on the same page. I mean, that part has been established. In terms of the trade, whatever, we've talked about this in the past. It's a longer conversation where part of me lands on the idea that let's just go ahead and say that, they obviously did push it to one team. They obviously did limit the Kings' real options. Those are facts. But I think I said even last week, reminding folks that if you went back to when the Kings traded Tyrese Halliburton, there was a moment when De'Aaron was on the table in that situation. And the point being that when the players are getting, moved around the league like kind of pieces on a game board against, not necessarily against their will, but without having any control, fans don't have as much of a problem with that. But when they kind of exert their influence on where they'll land in a trade, for some reason, that is kind of, considered unsavory.
Are you going to be at the game tomorrow night, Sam?
I will be.
Okay.
I will be there.
Nice.
We're juggling a few wrestling things like always, but I will make it happen.
Okay. Weird enough, Christopher Laud was at wrestling last night at the Memorial Auditorium.
Different wrestling.
Yeah.
A little pro wrestling action.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be at the game tomorrow. But if I was, I would.
You in England again?
I've been to one game this year. I went to that Miami double overtime.
Oh,
game.
Nice.
No, but if I was, I would bring you a Fox jersey to go with my Fox jersey, and then you and I could just absolutely slobber all over Fox for the entire game, because that's what we do, Sam. You and I are the biggest Fox apologists in Sacramento. We should just wear it.
Comment section right now.
Say that again.
Is this in the comment section right now?
Yeah, it's YouTube, it's Reddit, it's all that. We've been having fun with that all week. That I really am. I'm so freaking tired. I'm so happy this game is here because I want it to be over with, so we can just. I'm good. I'm done. We have litigated this thing over and over and over again, but I don't know that I've ever. It's weird. I think I am in lockstep with the majority of the fan base, but also have never been more out of touch with a decent sized part of the fan base. I would just say, I think the reaction, the vitriol has really kind of caught me off guard. And I'm going to probably think a lot about it over, enough to where you always want to go, God, am I out of touch? Am I missing something here? But at the same time, like we've just said over and over and over again, everybody's got their battle lines drawn. And there are some people that I think it's a little misdirected hostility, but they would say you and I are crazy, Sam.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like we've lost the plot a little bit, meaning that, even yesterday I was talking to somebody about the Mike Brown subplot, right? And the idea that, like we've talked about, not only did he not get Mike fired, but he was upset. And this, Dave, you talked to him about the way the organization didn't clarify that he didn't get Mike fired. Well, so, yesterday talking to a casual Kings fan, if you will, that storyline came up, and the first thing out of their mouth was like, the guy got the coach fired, and then he did this. And it's like that, that the plot was lost at that point, things like that, where you kind of lose track of what people are upset with him about. And then you wonder how much of it is accurate, obviously. So all of which is to say that going into tomorrow, it's probably a total crapshoot where, who knows where everybody's heads are at.
Yeah. Sam, I'm thinking about, the Kings on this road trip, went through Dallas, got the win in the game. I just hated to see Kyrie get hurt, but I just think about Dallas's plight now and what they have been through, from the Luka trade to AD getting hurt to now Kyrie getting hurt. They're on the bubble. They could still get in. I just don't know what their short-term future is. What are some of your guys and colleagues saying about what Dallas is going through right now?
Well, I'm always good for at least one shameless athletic plug, and I'm looking down at my phone here. The great Marcus Thompson, who is, if you don't read him, you should be. He's one of the finest writers in the game. Had a column about Mavs fans that was like perfectly toned in terms of sympathy, empathy, and humor at the same time. It was basically like, Mavs fans deserve better, but it went deeper with it. It talked about the absurdity of this sequence of events. It's just unbelievable. I saw something yesterday that I don't necessarily co-sign, but the fact that this was a conversation was wild to me. Was Kevin O'Connor at The Ringer on a podcast was obliterating Nico Harrison, the Mavs GM, and essentially drawing a through line from the choice to trade Luka to the fact that AD, and honestly, there is some logic here. The fact that AD rushed back because you now had to fix the PR and the optics. So we need AD to come out and be a monster because he's the guy we got in the Luka trade. Well, then AD gets hurt, for a long time with the adductor injury. Feels like he came back too early. Kyrie Irving was playing more minutes than anybody in the NBA for, I think, the last 6 weeks. He's not a young man. It's safe to kind of say that was a reaction to the Luka trade. And so the bodies keep falling. The season ticket prices keep rising. The frustration and anger also keeps rising. That whole situation, I don't think is going to cool down for quite a while, but it's just a miserable season for Mavs fans.
Last things, Sam, and I'm going to drag us right back into the mud. I'm thinking while you're talking about this and looking at just reading stuff. I think what really, if I'm being transparent and dare I say a tiny bit vulnerable about this whole thing, I think what really bothers me about this Fox thing. Look, you're a journalist with a capital J. I know you obviously have an affinity for the Kings. You covered the team. You raised your kids in Elk Grove, but your job's to be impartial. Mine is not. I'm very, very partial towards everything is about this team being worthy of this city and giving these fans the team they deserve and the championship they deserve. The thing that really, I think, actually grates at me the most is when it's like there's some sort of advantage to taking this side. Like there's some sort of advantage to shilling for Fox, for example. And it's like the dude just left the market. And in order to even try to defend some of the stuff that's going on, you're going against the organization that you still rely on for coverage. You're pissing off half the fan base who doesn't want to hear negative stuff. And there's just no logical reason to do it. Like I would argue it's the much tougher road. There are large swaths of audience that do not want negative or pessimistic conversations because sports is a distraction. So I think deeply philosophically for me, it's one of those things where like every time the Kings win now it's, how do you feel about, better without Fox, huh? Better without Fox. And I'm thinking, I'm going, you know what? Of course I want this team to win, and I'm happy that they're winning, and I'd love to be wrong. But at the same time, if the Spurs make the playoffs next year and the Kings don't, I'm not saying that'll happen. I'm saying if that did, imagine if guys like you and me went around and kept receipts on everybody and held it over their head and went, we were right, we were right, we were right. That'd be like the worst person in the world. It's a no-win situation because you either analyze everything and tell what you think is your truth to the fan base, which constantly screams for non-biased, non-shilling coverage and real coverage from people who have a connection to the organization, or an echo chamber and pom-poms. And that doesn't mean we're right. But it sometimes is difficult to take that road knowing the rollback you're going to get. That probably bothers me a lot more than it bothers you.
No, I mean, I appreciate the sentiment from a logic standpoint because you're dead on. I mean, the easy play is to pander. That's all there is to it. The easy play, it's funny, and don't clip this because he's a guy who I'm friendly with. There's a guy named Big Rich out in Oklahoma City. He's a famous Oklahoma City Thunder fan. He's also a local business owner. When Kevin Durant left OKC and everybody was angry with Kevin Durant, Big Rich is the guy who on video burned Kevin's jersey in front of his actual apartment. And it went viral and it made Thunder fans really, really happy. You know what I mean? Like and I remember looking at that going, oh man, like, I think it helped, his businesses. I think it made the fan base happy. That is the easy play. You're right. I mean, honestly, if we're being objective, I mean, your breakdown applies mostly to you. I'm looking at everything. I mean, certainly the more I criticize the Kings, the more it pisses them off. If I was looking at this through a Kings fan filter, the other thought would be that terrible analogy. I'm going to try it anyway. Like, if somebody you care about is in a relationship and that person they were with is pretty good, but not perfect for them, and they just trash them when they're done, there's part of you that's kind of going, okay, but how about you learn from that relationship and then grow from it, move on to the next one. And so if you alienate somebody like Fox, who has respect around the NBA, you got to remember that it's not just in a vacuum. You're not just, letting Fox hear it and that's it. Every other star player around the league will pay attention to the way Fox is treated. And then the opinion that they have will go backwards after these recent years and I've told the Kings this recently, their reputation in the coaching community has gone backwards. The reputation in the player community has gone backwards. And things like how you treat a guy who, played really hard and tried his best and was good off the court for 8 seasons with a bad finish is the type of thing that the next free agent is going to think about, and things of that nature. So this organization has fixed a lot of its stuff in recent years. But things like that, and with the fan base being part of that ecosystem, swing it back in the other direction.
Sam Amick of The Athletic. It's a good conversation to have, and glad to have this whole thing out tomorrow as De'Aaron Fox does return with the San Antonio Spurs to Golden One Center. You can read Sam Amick, brought to you by Jiffy Lube, all over The Athletic. Follow him on Twitter as well. Appreciate you, brother. We'll talk to you soon.
Thanks, guys. Be good.
All right, take care. We are late for a break. When we come back, Kings Rewind, as we'll look back on last night's game in a very fun way that only Chris and Jason can do. We'll do that next.
You never know what you might hear when listening to a Sacramento Kings game.
Out of Keegan, going for another triple. Man, is he feeling it. Keegan, can he do it? Yes, there's number 11, Keegan Murray. Keegan steps back. He just knocked down his 12th three-pointer, a Kings franchise record. He's got 45 points.
Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with Sacktown Sports and the Sacktown Sports app.
As we all continue to hear scary ads about the IRS, Tax Relief Advocates is leading the way, showing U.S. taxpayers why they don't need to be afraid of the IRS. Whether you owe the IRS $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, TRA has a solution. With major tax relief initiatives currently in effect, we could reduce or even eliminate what you owe to the IRS, business or personal. Our experts know how to resolve tax problems and end all collections. TRA is America's highly rated tax resolution firm with an A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau and thousands of 5-star Google reviews. Don't wait. You may qualify for a significant tax debt reduction that can give you a fresh start, but you must call for a free consultation and to check what tax relief you qualify for. Visit TRA.com or call our relief hotline at 800-335-8578. 800-335-8578. Again, that's 800-335-8578. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Domantas Sabonis plays here.
He finds Sabonis. Put the frosting on the cake. Put the cherry on the sundae. Sabonis with a two-hand flush makes it 114-106.
Sacktown Sports is your proud home of the Sacramento Kings.
It's March, and you're in luck because at Overhead Door Company of Sacramento, they're slam dunking the competition with unbeatable deals on overhead doors. Hey there, Jason Ross here, and whether you're upgrading your home just like we did or need a reliable, secure garage door, they've got the perfect match for you. And March is the perfect time for a fresh start. Take your home to the next level with high-quality doors that stand strong, look amazing, and are installed by trusted professionals. The winning results we got is more than we could have asked for, and you can do the same. So visit overheaddoorofsacramento.com today and check out their showroom as well. And when you do, mention me, Jason Ross, or Sacktown Sports, and find out about the $150 off a new garage door with the purchase of a garage door opener. Your dream door, just like us, is a click away. You can call them at 916-421-3747. Overhead Door Company of Sacramento, the genuine, the original overhead door. Always look for the red ribbon logo.
One ticket, two huge shows. The Sacramento Boat Show and the Big RV Show. Multiple dealers discounting all the best brands. Hundreds of wakeboard boats, fishing boats, and pontoon boats. Acres and acres of travel trailers, fifth wheel, toy hauler, and motorhome. And loads of ATVs too. Two shows, one massive event. The Sacramento Boat Show and the Big RV Show. On now at Sacramento's Cal Expo. Find discounts at twohugeshows.com.
Sacramento's premier country music festival, Country in the Park, is coming back May 16th and 17th at Cal Expo with Bailey Zimmerman, Billy Currington, Cole Wetzel, Nate Smith, and more. You'll enjoy food trucks, rock walls, and a mechanical bull, line dancing, and more. Single-day GA tickets start at $52 at CITPFest.com. Country in the Park, May 16th and 17th with Save Mart and McKee Brothers Plumbing and Rooter Incorporated. Find out more at CITPFest.com.
There's no better time than now to get yourself into a brand new Jeep because it's Jeep Adventure Days at Sacramento Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, offering the best deals in town and a selection other dealers are jealous of. Stop on by. They're just off of Business 80 across from Hagen Oaks Golf Complex. Sacramento Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram.
Want the best movie experience in town? Join Sacktown Sports IMAX Pass by visiting sacktownsports.com. Sign up today. You can win tickets to see this week's films at the Esquire IMAX Theater.
So many things, big and little, make you uniquely you. Your hobbies, dreams, careers, family, and more. Addiction to drugs, including opioids and stimulants, can strip these away from you. Recover your life. Choose treatment for drug addiction and get back to what matters most. Find a provider and proven treatment option that's right for you. Recover you at ChooseChangeCA.org.
Tom's Watch Bar has the best happy hour in Sacramento, starting with $5 specials all day, every day. Plus select $7 appetizers and $12 entrees with 360-degree viewing and game day vibes that match being at the game. Tom's Watch Bar is the ultimate game day experience for sports fans.
Big savings are back at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop. New Hondas are piling up, and that means big savings for you.
Looking to own or lease? During the spring sales event, drive a brand new Accord or Civic. Visit us today at FolsomLakeHonda.com, your one-stop Honda shop.
As a family-owned and operated dealership since 2009, customer service is our #1 priority. Our customers love doing business with us, and you will too.
Folsom Lake Honda, yeah, your one-stop Honda shop.
Carmichael Dave.
He has very good sources, and he just kind of tells it as it is and gets to the point.
Jason Ross.
He has a lot of pretty smart things to say. He's good at what he does.
On Sacktown Sports.
Welcome back. If you missed any or all of the beautiful Sam Amick or any of our interviews. Kelly Brothers, Coach Jim Lass,
Good
anyone.
business.
Not just here, but on the station. Wait, what week is this? What are we? What's the points?
Week 2.
Week 2, which is what I'm doing right now. That's right. It's what I'm doing right now. Then you can check that out right there on YouTube. Also, not only are all interviews posted, but full shows posted as well. So please do check them out. All right, Jason Ross, Chris Verlade, Kings Rewind.
Well, with 3 games in the books, the road trip so far for the Kings had already been a success, but now it's time to get greedy and go for the sweep.
It's mine, I tell you. It's mine.
Riding the momentum of wins over Charlotte, then road wins over Utah, Houston, and Dallas, the Kings were getting another crack at the Denver Nuggets.
Huh. I expected the Rocky Mountains to be a little rockier than this.
I was thinking the same thing. That John Denver's full of shit, man.
Denver won the first 2 matchups of the season as Nikola Jokic was a major problem in both games. That was the sneak preview from earlier.
There it was. Mystery solved.
Yes. To make it just a bit more difficult, the Kings are going to play yet again without Domantas Sabonis, and they found out that Malik Monk would be out as well.
Whatever you need, just get better.
That's I know that
Please
voice.
do.
That's Patrick Stewart.
Yes.
Money.
Doug Christie went to the 15th different starting lineup of the season in hopes of finally breaking through against former Kings coach Michael Malone.
Who? Michael Malone. Michael Malone. He used to coach here, and he said no class, no somethings.
Who?
No, Michael Malone. His dad was Brendan Malone, R.I.P. He used to coach for the Pistons.
Who?
Well, how would the Kings approach Nikola Jokic? Well, Sacramento put Keegan Murray on the 3-time MVP.
Oh, goody gumdrops.
Stupid.
Not only Keegan, but Jake LaRavia would get several minutes on him, too.
Let's get that punk.
He's so hot. Call him Saudi LaRavia, said White E. Gleason. It was on in the afternoons.
The first quarter was beautiful. The Kings got 2 quick fouls on Jamal Murray, and Sacramento pounced as they opened up a 42-29 advantage after 1 quarter.
Dear God, it's beautiful.
Most of the damage came from Jake LaRavia, who had 11, and Keon Ellis provided a spark with 9.
Yes, there it is.
After playing the entire first quarter, the Joker went to the bench to begin the second, and Denver actually outscored the Kings 10-6 during his rest.
No!
The Kings continue to defend, make shots, and bother Denver at the half. Sacramento 65, Denver 55.
Everything really wrapped up nicely. Much quicker than usual.
Well, the third quarter belonged to DeMar DeRozan.
I'm glad D-Rose came home. Y'all didn't deserve him neither.
Debo went 7 for 11 from the floor, hit 4 of 5 3-pointers, scored 18 of the Kings' 28 points, and moved ahead of Patrick Ewing for 27th all-time in NBA history in scoring.
The best. Except for 20-something people.
Just 26.
26.
That's it. Yeah. Up 93-84 after three, the Kings could sense a perfect 4-0 road trip.
So this team is perfect.
Get greedy.
Yeah, Nikola Jokic went to the bench again to begin the fourth, and Sacramento again failed to capitalize. The Kings were outscored 12-3 while the Joker was out, and he returned to a tie game.
Why does this keep happening?
The intensity of the fourth quarter was real as each team desperately wanted the win.
It's the final countdown.
Both sides were getting agitated by the calls or non-calls from the officials.
Are you blind? Are you blind?
Simple question, really.
Simple question.
The final 5 minutes, the Kings failed to execute, and Denver went right past Sacramento for a 6-point win. Sacramento's win streak comes to an end, and now the Kings are 0-3 on the season against Denver.
Oh,
Next up, it will be an interesting night on Friday when the Kings play a host to the San Antonio Spurs and the return of Harrison Barnes.
Fire Falcon.
Oh, and the return of De'Aaron Fox.
Fragile ego, fragile body, weak mind, weak spirit.
Chris will be booing.
And now you know how the game played out last night. There you go. Another version of the Kings Rewind. Good job, Chris.
I hate losing. I hate it. But I do like me a little Kings Rewind. Well done, boys. Well done. Also, considering Chris was out last night gallivanting, and he still managed to get everything done. Absolutely. Meanwhile, my daughter didn't have her room clean. We had a big blow up last night about it, and felt a little guilty, but told her to have it cleaned by a certain time. Go up there. She's not cleaning, so I had to add some chores, and then she got really upset, and there was tears and all that. She cried too, and just kidding. And yeah, I felt really bad about that. And then I told her, hey, listen. Hey, by the way, as we go to break, does this count? Good parenting, bad parenting? I said, if this room, I'm going to bed. If this room isn't clean, by the time I'm getting up at 3:30 in the morning, I'm going to come in, I'm going to check your room. I'm going to take my little flashlight, I'm going to look at your room. If it's not clean, I'm waking you up. And then I got up this morning at 3:30. It was almost all clean, but it was not completely clean. There was definitely stuff still on the ground, and she was asleep on the ground. Like she'd fallen asleep cleaning her room. So I went in and I woke her up at 3:30 in the morning. And I said, I told you I was going to wake you up if this room wasn't clean. And she started to get up, and I said, just clean it when you get home. And I let her go back to sleep. Is that a dad fail?
No.
Is that a dad giving in to the daughter fail? No. I feel like I followed through on my word.
I think you met in the middle.
Jason thinks
I don't think UCLA allows that kind of stuff. You're trying to get in to be a Bruin, you got to have high standards.
Bruins have clean rooms.
Yeah.
Yeah, but what about
Chapman
have expensive rooms.
Oh, very expensive rooms. We'll take a break.
You know, a dirty room is a sign of intelligence.
Shut up, Chris. Who's hot, who's not? And we'll recap the key for Kings and Nuggets. We'll do that next.
Friday night, Kings and Spurs. Game night with Scott Marsh and the high flyer Henry Turner starts at 5:30. Tip-off at 7.
The Kings play here on Sacktown Sports.
Sacktown Sports, 1140.
Spring is in the air, and that means gigantic savings for all your oil change needs at Jiffy Lube today. Get a $25 gift card with the purchase of any Pennzoil Platinum full synthetic oil change through May 31st at your local Jiffy Lube service center in the greater Sacramento areas. And don't forget about the additional $30 off online coupon at jiffylube.com. Terms apply. Valid email address required. See pennzoil.com/rewards for details. Jiffy Lube, a huge spring savings for you today.
Meanwhile at Xfinity.
Okay, huddle up. Do you realize how many fans stream basketball? It's madness.
But real fans stream with Xfinity Internet.
Totally. We've engineered the fastest connection.
With reduced buffering and low lag.
'Cause making streaming better is what we do! Yeah! Yeah!
Can we let go now? It's really not a huddle with two people.
Switch to Xfinity Internet and stream live sports from the best seat in the house. Bring on the good stuff. Restrictions apply. Not available in all areas. Actual speed vary, not guaranteed.
Golf to Go is brought to you by the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. Here's Frank LaRosa.
In the Shag Bag, the renovation of Poppy Ridge Golf Course in Livermore, California continues on schedule for a reopening this year. Architect Jay Blasey's design assures a golf course we can look forward to playing a few months down the road. Check poppyridgegolf.ncga.org for updates. And Rod Metzler, PGA with Coursco, reports that the Campus Commons Golf Course continues to grow in after a complete redesign and is also scheduled to reopen in the next couple of months. I'm hearing a lot of talk about the nighttime crowd at the Hagen Oaks driving range with their Top Tracer technology. You'll find accomplished players alongside newbies searching for that first center of the club face experience that brings them back for more. The order of the evening is fun, so it might be worth a look. National Golf Foundation reports 45 million Americans over the age of 6 played golf both on course and off course in 2023. When can we count you on that list? That's your Golf to Go. I'm Frank LaRosa.
Is that a new Samsung Galaxy A15 5G?
Yeah, I got it for free when I joined Cricket Nation.
Sounds pretty great.
At Cricket, anyone can get a new phone when they switch.
Whoa.
With a high-quality camera, meaning more flattering selfies for all, and super fast 5G, so you can post them for all to see. Your friends, your family, your ex. Free phone! Free phone!
Okay, I'll switch.
Welcome to Cricket Nation.
Cricket 5G is not available everywhere. Must bring your number to Cricket on a $60 a month voice plan. First month service charge and tax to its sale. These terms and other restrictions apply. See cricketwireless.com for details.
At Lowe's, our members get more. With the MyLowe's rewards programs, members earn points on eligible purchases. Plus, you can shop member-only deals for your home and business every week. So what are you waiting for? Join for free today. Lowe's, we help, you save. Points are awarded on eligible purchases. Program subject to terms and conditions. Details at lowes.com/terms. Subject to change.
Meda Chevy saves you $8,000 off MSRP on new 2025 half-ton Silverado LT and RST after rebates.
Year-end savings on now with $8,000 off new Silverados at MedaChevy.com. Together, let's drive.
See dealer for details.
What's hot and what's not. Brought to you by American Energy Heat and Air, making the uncomfortable comfortable. Head to AmericanEnergyAir.com to find out more.
What's hot?
Yeah, hot. Real hot. And what's not?
It's not good.
Brought to you by American Energy Heating and Air, Sacramento's complete heating and cooling company, and second opinion partner.
Hey, Chris.
No, not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet. Dave's here. We got to get Dave in this.
Oh, he's waiting. He wanted to wait for you. It's very specific, I think.
I just found out that you can put emojis on the YouTube page. Not on the chat, but if you hit the little emoji on the side, like I'm hitting hearts right now.
I see it.
See them? They show up. I didn't know that. I could do smiley faces. I could do.
What do they do, though?
Streamers.
Do the smiley face. Are those smiley faces going up?
Smiley faces on the right side. I didn't know you could do this. That's so fun. I'm easily amused. Sorry, but that's really fun. Okay, anyways, who's hot? As I spam the chat with smiley faces.
How many smiley faces?
17.
17.
Well, we talked about it earlier. Peyton Pritchard and Derek White, they both had 40 games in the Celtics win over Portland. They're the first team in NBA history to each have their first 40-point outing in the same game.
That's kind of cool.
It is cool.
And you mentioned earlier, I think,
but who gets a game ball?
They cut it in half.
Oh,
that's actually a good point.
They cut it in 40 pieces.
And then who
shouldn't it be
80? That's a lot of little basketball pieces. Who does get the game ball? Woof. Probably got off the bench.
Pritchard.
I still think, no offense, Chris, I think you still had the stat of the day that it's the first time two Boston Celtics have, not Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum, not Bird and McHale, not Garnett, Allen, or Paul Pierce. That's the first time two.
Kuzi and somebody.
Right.
Havlicek, Russell, and
That's the first time two Boston Celtics have had a 40-point game. The Kings have had two guys with 40-point games in the last 2 years.
Yeah.
Sheesh, but with 7 E's in the middle.
Yeah.
Like, sheesh.
But that at least made sense in a way with Fox and Monk.
Yeah.
This one is Derek White and Pritchard.
No. Who had that?
Yeah.
Who had that with all the great Celtics?
What odds, like, if Vegas wouldn't have even had
No,
that?
they wouldn't
You
even
could have put $1 down and won how much?
Like, honest to God, I don't know. I've always wanted to get a bookie who, like, we could just call for stuff like this. I'll bet you the odds are better at winning the Powerball.
Yeah, probably.
Honest to God, I really think so. Probably get struck by lightning 4 times and one walk to the park to play basketball.
While winning the Powerball.
While winning the Powerball and carrying Jonas Valanciunas on your shoulders, because why not?
Yeah.
Why not? Who's not?
Platinum Max Caster.
Okay, can I just say Platinum Max? Okay, hold on. Not you and I, neither of us have any idea. Platinum Max Caster sounds like either a 60s boxer, an 1890s baseball player, or a mafia henchman.
Or some little tool that you need in the tool shed.
Oh, like go grab the Platinum I need the Max Caster. No,
the Platinum one.
The Platinum Max Caster.
I'm surprised you didn't go with True Value Max Headroom.
Did that too.
Max Headroom is a really old good pull. Platinum Max Caster. Go ahead.
I know who it is.
AEW wrestler, currently on his open challenge, not doing quite well. 0-7 and loss in 39 seconds last night. But hey, if you're starting to feel sorry for him, don't. Listen to what he had to say about the people of Sacramento last night.
Oh, no.
All right. Guys, that was a really good effort. Obviously, we're not going to get it right on day one. I mean, they call this Sacktown for a reason because you guys are a bunch of ball bags.
Hey!
Boo!
Hey!
Ian, remember that scene from Wayne's World?
Hey!
What scene from Wayne's World?
He didn't explain. Way to go, Excalibur.
Did you boo him or cheer him, Chris?
Did I boo him, Jason?
Did you get a picture with him?
No. You guys, you call you Sacktown because you guys are a bunch of ball bags.
Like we haven't heard that before. Nice one, Max.
You know what? Can I tell you who can I tell you who Platinum Max Caster's energy is a little bit like?
Huh.
See if you can catch this.
Energy?
Damn it, God. Guys are a bunch of you guys. There's a reason they call you Sacktown because you got a dump in your pants.
Hurricane Peter McNeely.
It's very McNeilish.
I got Ricochet pretty good last night, where he turned around and he got in my face and yelled at me.
What did you do?
I told him,
Ricochet's a wrestler.
Yes, I told him
I thought he said
Ricochet, more like Rico Lame.
Oh, okay. I thought maybe you were going somewhere that wasn't going to.
Come on,
it's
2025.
I understand. Or like Rico Lame.
What did he do?
He's like, really? You're gonna say that to me?
You went with Rico Lame.
What would you have gone with, Jason?
Hey, nice to meet you, Mr. Ricochet.
Yeah, Mr. O'Shea.
He's a bad person, Jason.
Oh, I would have gone with, hey, you're bad.
Yeah, Ricochet. More like Ricochet. Actually, I don't know if I could say that. Because, well, Richard. Short for, be kind of funny.
Rich?
Yeah, Ricochet.
Ricochet.
I thought you said you got ricocheted as in a verb. As in like someone did something to you. That
Bing. I
Bing bong.
kind of got a wrestler's foot graze my face last night.
Didn't you almost get punched at another one? Isn't that the video I saw?
The hand was open. He almost slapped me in the face.
Hey, by the way, does that happen? Like if an audience member gets slapped in the face, do they get to like sue, or are you like?
So I told my friend right after it happened because I ducked and he missed me, and I said, "Damn it! If he would have hit me, they probably would have let us go backstage."
I think,
or if he would have touched you, also, then does that mean you're tagged in?
That's right. I also think it's one of those things where like you think it was really close, but it's also like when you think you hit a really good golf shot, and you're like, how close is it when you pull the card up? It's like 12 feet away.
I had to duck.
You had to duck. Who knew wrestling was so real?
Ricochet.
3 of the Key Kings. More like sickochet because you have the flu. By the way, did Ricochet even go wrestle after that, or did he just go straight to the locker room crying?
He wrestled.
Did he? Wow.
Not that badly.
Getting through diversity.
He cheated and won.
Did I say getting through diversity? Get through adversity. How did we do last night, ladies and gentlemen?
Let's see. We asked for the Kings high score off the bench. Dave, you said it would be Trey Lyles with 14 points. I said it would be Trey Lyles with 12 points. Chris said it would be Keon Ellis with 13. Keon started.
He did. So automatically Chris is out.
Automatically. It was Jake LaRavia with 15. None of us had that.
None of us had that.
You made that point yesterday too, Jason.
Yeah, you did. Well done, Jason. You get a 10th of a point.
Thanks. I'm ahead.
Ding.
Let's see. We asked for Nikola Jokic's numbers. He had been killing the Kings. Dave, you said 0, 0, and 0.
I took a chance that I tried to get cute, hoping he was going to be out.
I said 32, 14, and 8. Chris said 24, 12, and 11. He ended with 22, 5, and 6. Or 15 and 6, excuse me.
I think Chris gets out.
I think so.
Yeah.
7 turnovers. Too, right? Careful. And the random stat. You said Keegan Murray would have 20 or more. He was on pace, but he ended at 6.
Yeah, he was on pace, though.
Yeah. I said it would be the first technical foul for Doug Christie. He got a little heated, but never got a tee.
Told you he knows where the line is.
Yeah. He's had people yell Rick a lame at him before.
That doesn't make any sense.
That's why he knows where the line is.
More like Doug Chris Coffee because you're so hyper.
I went to school with Chris Coffee.
Why does Chris Coffee sound like a familiar name? That used to be an athlete. Anyways, back to you, Jason.
Yeah, he played soccer.
Chris Coffee did?
Yeah.
Okay.
For your high school?
Yeah.
How was he?
He's pretty good.
And Chris, you said Zach LaVine would have 5 or more 3-pointers. He went 3 for 7. Not bad. We got to be better. We have 2 chances tomorrow. Kings Spurs and Kings Clippers.
Look at Chris's coffee service here. That's as close as we got. Maybe that's your guy. Hey, also, let's go to break. Did you know that the darker the bean,
the sweeter the juice,
the more it's roasted, the less caffeine it has in it?
I did not.
So therefore, espresso is actually not as caffeinated as like a regular cup. I just learned that.
How about a jelly bean? Best bean.
Mount Beanmore?
Yeah.
The bean.
Strain.
The
Billy.
Chicago bean.
Meat.
Jelly. Coffee.
Jack and the Giant stock. Baked.
Light the.
No.
What do you know?
That's not a bean.
Oh.
I think it was real.
I like legit. I was like, how do we forget that? Like the bean. We'll take a break. I'm not even going to try to fake my way out of that. When we come back, final hour post-game reaction to Denver beating the Kings. Do we have Jake LaRavia? I can't find him anywhere. Is he in here somewhere? I don't see the audio, but hopefully we will. If not, we'll find something else. We'll do it next.
Live and local.
With everything 49ers.
Intercepted by Fred Warner. Dives for the end zone. Touchdown! San Francisco! Bob Paul George went up and caught the ball. Touchdown!
The 49ers play on Sacktown Sports 1140.
Saving for retirement was tough enough for us.
Yes, and navigating markets can be challenging at times.
I understand. That's why at Fisher Investments, we take a disciplined approach with your investments.
Tell us more about that.
We take an active approach to money management, positioning your portfolio for opportunities we see ahead.
So all your clients get the same portfolio?
No, we tailor your portfolio to your individual goals and needs.
What about communication? We don't like being left in the dark.
We check in regularly to keep you informed on the markets and your portfolio.
Which means you'll help us stay on track.
Yes, our goal is your comfortable retirement. And as a fiduciary, we always put your interests first, because we do better when you do better. At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
I'm still going for it, even with higher stroke risk from atrial fibrillation, an irregular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Over a 3-year study, Eliquis apixaban tablets reduce stroke risk better than warfarin, and over 97% of Eliquis patients did not experience a stroke. A first stroke occurred in 2.9% of warfarin patients versus 2.3% of Eliquis patients.
Don't stop taking prescription Eliquis without asking your doctor. It may increase your stroke risk. Eliquis can cause serious and in rare cases fatal bleeding. Don't take Eliquis if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or take longer for bleeding to stop. A spinal injection while on Eliquis increases risk of blood clots, which may cause paralysis, the inability to move. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding, unusual bruising, or tingling, numbness, or muscle weakness. Medications such as aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners may increase bleeding risk. Tell your doctor about all planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
I'm Johnny Mosley with the Toyota Tahoe Report. Time to carve up new lines in your Toyota, because anytime you're skiing
on a Thursday? That's a pretty killer Thursday if you ask me. Unsettled skies over the mountain, that's never stopped any of us, right?
Thanks, Johnny. Today, Tahoe will get a new inch of snow with a high near 32. Tonight will be mostly cloudy with another half inch of snow and lows in the 20s. Tomorrow, expect sunny skies with a high near 37. This report is brought to you by your local Toyota dealers. Toyota, let's go places.
Come check out Capital Casino, Sacramento's #1 poker room with the most variety of table games in the region in a safe and friendly environment. Plenty of well-lit parking available, conveniently located in downtown Sacramento. And remember, Capital Casino has the best food, the best service, and the best action. 411 North 16th Street in downtown Sacramento. For more information, log on to capital-casino.com, and please gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
Sacktown Sports is bringing you the biggest live events in town. Whether you're rocking out or dancing the night away, check out the Sacktown Sports live events calendar. Crank it up with Steel Panther at Ace of Spades on March 15th. Then catch rising country star Alexandra Kay the next night, March 16th, also at Ace of Spades. On March 22nd, experience the magic of the Ronstadt Review featuring Jasenia at the Crest Theater. Then get ready for an epic night. Papa Roach and Rise Against take over Golden One Center March 29th, while comedy legends Jay Leno and Arsenio Hall bring the laughs to Hard Rock Live Sacramento on that same night. And for country fans, Lee Bryce and Walker Hayes hit Ironstone Amphitheater on June 21st, and Parker McCullum takes the stage August 16th at the Ironstone Amphitheater up in Murphys, California. Don't miss out. Find more info and score your chance to win tickets at SacktownSports.com. The Sacktown Sports Live Events Calendar. Your ticket to the best seat in the house.
KHTK HD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento.
Your home for Kings basketball for over 25 seasons.
Hammer time thrown down by the league.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
Sacktown Sports, 1140. The Carmichael Dave Show.
He's on the microphone when he's not on the microphone. He's playing a song, and when he's not playing a song, he's on the microphone, and then boom.
With Jason Ross.
No, he didn't. Yes, he did.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on Sacktown Sports.
I'll start this hour out with a sincere apology. But also, I feel like I'm owed an apology, but I'm gonna stand up and apologize, because that's what you should do when you say something and you're wrong. I'm looking at you, Alton Brown, host of many a show on Food Network and one of my favorite Food Network personalities. I love his show Good Eats, which was on in the early 2000s, and then they did a reboot a few years back. It's one of the shows. It's one of my night shows. Like, I'll throw it on when because I've seen them all. I've watched them all a bunch of times. It's a cool show. Gives you a lot of food science and stuff like that. Season 2, episode 9. The episode is called True Brew, and it's all about. He goes to a coffee place where it's ground. He goes to Columbia, which is probably really in Georgia, where this stuff is shot, and goes through all the science of the coffee bean and how it's roasted and all that. And in his episode last night, then when I watched it, and I've seen it before, he did this whole thing with graphics and everything on how the longer a bean is roasted, the less caffeine is in it, which is why, and then he went into the whole, you think if you take a shot of espresso, but actually you're going to get more caffeine out of and this is a quote, a regular cup of Folgers. So, of course, I go, wow, I didn't know that. That's interesting. Alton Brown, who also happened to direct an REM video, little known fact about him when he was fresh out of...
Which one?
It's not called This One Goes Out to the One I Love.
The sad one?
Shiny Happy People?
No, it's the...
Stand?
This one goes out to the one I love. But it's not called that. I always forget the name of it. Anyways. But... Then everyone in the chat was like, well, that's not true. So, of course, so I look it up, and yeah, it's not true. No, that's true. It's about the bean and the whole, it's about the bean itself and different things.
How do they do decaffeinated?
They just take the caffeine out.
They say simmer down.
I'm very disappointed about Alton Brown. Very disappointed. He's one of my culinary heroes, and he completely...
Is he still?
He's very smart.
Your relationship just changed, didn't it?
You're
a bit shook.
Also, I was doing this on the trip as well before we get back to music. Once again, everybody play at home. I'd like to try this out on YouTube because I know I've already done it. And I still think this is one of my favorite things to ask people. And I'll probably do this till the day I die. You'll know at one point exactly where I'm going because I think I did this a month ago. But it still amazes me that arguably the most iconic song of the 60s, an instantly recognizable song from the 60s, 95% of people out there have no idea who the band is and what the name of the song is. You'll know the song from the first half second I play it. Guys, band or name?
Yeah, you did this before.
We did this. We did a whole thing.
Right.
Do you remember?
No.
Chris?
The song is Something's Happening Here.
It's not, but that's what most people think.
Jake
Gyllenhaal.
By
Laravia.
Jake Catter RV.
I would like to rely on the chat and ask them not to do any research because I know they played along last time too. Just let's see if you can name it below. Somebody already has the band. It's really weird how nobody knows it. It's really, really weird. It's a super group. It's a group that has Steven Stills, Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young, and Neil Young in it, and somebody else I forget. I'm telling you, it's the new Family Ties theme, Jason, where nobody knows anything but the Sha-La-La-Las.
Yeah, that was interesting on the SNL music documentary. They said, hum the SNL theme song. Like at the beginning of the show. After they go, live from New York, it's Saturday night. That sounds like Johnny Carson.
Live from New York, it's Saturday night. It's a saxophone. Ooh.
I don't have
Jason, you've watched every one ever.
I've got all these things confused in my head.
Why does that happen?
Because
it's changed too.
It's around the same thing, but it's different for every episode.
That's what I thought.
Is it?
Yeah.
But then the ending's always the same.
Yeah.
Sha-la-la-la.
The name of the band is Buffalo Springfield, and the song is For What It's Worth. For What It's Worth. I want to see you. I'm going to ask this again in like 2 months.
Okay. And you'll get the same answer.
I will probably get the same answer. The Sacramento Kings lost to the Denver Nuggets last night. They are 0-3 against the Nuggets. 2 of those games being incredibly close, especially the one at Golden One Center. Normally, if it would be very easy to come in today and say, well, this is just like a lot of those other Kings games. They come in, they do well, they have a big lead. You caught me, and you're right.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. We're looking at the TVs right now.
They really do that.
They have on the Pat McAfee show, they're talking about Peyton Pritchard and Derek White scoring last night and how well they did. And they both scored over 40 points.
What's the title?
Boston's Exciting Whites.
Have you seen that meme, right?
Yes, I have seen that meme. I've 100% seen that meme. Anyways, it would be it would be very easy to come in and say, well, it's just like so many other Kings games. They blew this lead. They did that, and blah. Not the case. The losses do have different degrees of analysis to them. And as we've said all day, I'm not mad one iota at them. It's a great road trip. They outperformed. And last night, in my opinion, they should have won that game. And I think they got a little screwed.
Yeah, I think what I like too is that, look, they played another really good offense and held Denver. I mean, I say held them, but 116. That's normally a winning formula. They've been doing a great job defensively here the last 4 games of the win streak. I think if you play, Dave, wouldn't you say if you played like this, some of the elements of this against the Spurs and even the Clippers on Sunday, they might win the next 2. If you played like some of these, there's some things they still need to work on. It wasn't a perfect game, but I liked a lot of what they did.
Styles make fights, and they can match up really well with the Rockets, but then the Rockets will beat a team that the Kings just can't seem to beat.
Right.
That being said, I think if the Kings play the way they did last night against the Spurs and the Clippers, there's very little doubt in my mind they'd be 2-0.
Yeah.
Just play the exact same way. And I imagine that was probably, I mean, I have no way of knowing, but that was probably, I would bet money, part of the message last night. Sure, there were things post-game Doug Christie and the coaches will go over, and we'll continue to go over today with the team. But I think a lot of it's like, guys, don't get discouraged. We don't want to, we're not going to blame the refs entirely, but you know what happened. play like that, play like you did against Houston, play like you did against Dallas, you're going to win a lot more games than you lose for the remainder of the season, which, by the way, is saying something, being that they have the second toughest schedule the rest of the way.
Yeah. And I just like that, look, along this, they've started the March Gauntlet. That's 3 of the games. Yeah. So these were 3 against teams above 500. You check those off the box here, right? I mean, I just think every game tomorrow night, after tomorrow, there's 20 to go. I mean, it's happening. It's going quickly here. So they didn't get a good night in the standings per se. There was still some hope if the Clippers lost that maybe they, stay in 8th, but that could still all be solved by the weekend.
And I would say something here too, and I'm not trying to sound an alarm. It's just how the league works. Right now, the Kings, if they have an advantage, it's that a lot of this roster is new. On top of that, now Sabonis is out. Last night, Monk is out. And we've talked about this before, both from a good side and when this has happened to other teams the Kings are playing. This is a copycat league that is very smart, that watches a lot of film. What the Kings are doing now, especially on defense, they are employing methods that they have not done before, and they have not done with this personnel. Now, at some point, the league is going to catch up to what the Kings are doing, and they're going to game plan for it. And this is really where, again, I think Doug Christie's absolutely earning his paycheck right now, even instituting these principles. But it's just natural to think at some point, some of these other teams are going to catch up and go, oh, they're doing this and they're doing this. And they weren't doing that earlier this year with the film we were looking at and we prepped for. Now they're doing this, so we need to counter with this. At some point, I predict between now and the end of the year, you're going to start to see some lulls that we haven't seen over the last 2-3 games in defense in particular. Then it's going to be incumbent upon Doug and Luke Laux and the rest of those guys to readjust to the adjustments, because that's really what an NBA season is. I mean, ultimately, look, it's 80% what your talent is and what you're going to do. But it's those 20% in the margins where you're giving different looks, where you're doing different things, where you're switching up schemes that really are the difference between being slightly above 500 and being a 600, 650 team. I'm not looking forward to the other team's adjustments. I hope they don't. But when they do, I'm looking forward to what the Kings counter with.
And I feel like under Doug, they've been winning the margins.
Absolutely.
Not every night, but just over this 30 games now, it's 19 and 11.
Yep.
That's way above pace than they've been as a team. I think that we've always said there's talent here, but how do they put it all together? And now I think the one obvious thing is it's just a much better, well-rounded roster. I mean, the depth is clearly better. The size of Valanciunas has provided the help they've needed. And then, they've kind of mixed and matched the offense the way they, when they need them in crunch time between Levine and DeRozan. And so, again, I think that's what we've said. This is the best chance they have. And I like where they're playing, the way they're playing still.
I think to your point, if you want a really positive stat to end the segment on, since Doug took over, as you said, they're 29 and 11.
Or 19 and 11.
Or 19, sorry, for a total of 30 games. If you extrapolate that winning percentage over an entire season, that's a 52-game winning percentage. And also consider the fact that since Doug took over, they've had a top 5 difficult schedule in the NBA. So you could maybe add a game or two to that.
And a significant trade.
Yes.
In the middle of that, too.
That's
like
right.
Doug's had to go through. I mean, he's had to. It's pretty remarkable because honestly, I'll go back to when they fired Mike Brown. I personally, I know they wouldn't say it and they didn't say it.
Right.
I thought they were punting on the season.
I did. Somebody was punting on the season.
I mean,
You're right.
The organizational goal was still to make the playoffs, but I thought generally when you do that, you're cooked. And they haven't been.
And they haven't. And again, don't want to get too carried away. This season could flip very, very quickly.
True.
But you can only call what you see in front of you. And that road trip was very invigorating for this team and I think for this fan base. We'll take a quick 1-minute break. When we come back, let's look at that road trip. Let's look at the big picture as well on the road trip and more next.
On the move? Got somewhere to be?
Take Sacramento Kings basketball with you. The Sacktown Sports app will let you stay connected to your passion. Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with the Sacktown Sports app.
Every Saturday in March is your chance to shoot your shot at Sky River Casino's $250,000 Slam Dunk Cash giveaway. Play slots and table games to earn entries and get 100 bonus entries every Monday and Tuesday. Visit Sky River Casino daily to score a free entry. Then join every Saturday from 7 to 10 p.m. for a chance to win up to $250,000. Visit skyriver.com for details. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Must be 21 or older.
We're super excited to announce that the new Truck Center is now open at Sacramento Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. And it's easy to find from anywhere. They're centrally located right across from Hagan Oaks Golf Course. At Sacramento Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, you never have to sacrifice great service to get a good deal. They make sure you're treated the way you deserve to be treated. Showing time and time again that Sacramento Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, it's the place where a handshake still means something. I mean, that's the reason why people are coming from all over town. Elk Grove, Folsom, Woodland, Roseville. Stop on in and experience the difference for yourself.
The only place in the morning to get your sports fix.
Live and local.
The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
I just realized yesterday, by the way, my wife is, she coaches basketball and does a bunch of stuff, but also I went and brought her something at school the other day, and she was, it was halftime. It was lunch. What? Shut the screen.
I'll say after.
Okay. It was lunch. And, one of our friends, the other couple we hang out with, he's like the vice principal there. Yeah. So he brought me on campus. You know, you got to be careful. Some random dude coming on campus. And, he led me to where she was. She's by the cafeteria with a whistle around her neck. She's the one that, like, it was pizza day because it was a Friday. So there's a rush, and you can only have so many people in line. And then you have like the auxiliary line so that it doesn't flood that part of the cafeteria. So she was, in fact, the one that was whistling and controlling the lines for the pizza. And so I said, wait a minute, hold on. What do you normally do stuff at lunch? And she goes, yeah. What do you do? And she goes, well, I got you're making sure kids are in line, whatever. And then when they're out on the, field, if there's a fight or if there's, kids are getting rambunctious, I go, well, hold on a second. Are you a yard duty? And she's like, yeah, I guess you never really hear that, but yeah. And I'm like, I'm married to a yard duty. Cause I remember all the yard duties I had growing up. They were all like grandmas and stuff that were like super stern and you were afraid of them. And they were always like really shrill and lame. And I'm thinking, God, is that how kids see my wife? Shut the screen. I said, hey, hold on to that whistle for sacked out a thing or two.
Yeah.
Oh, yard duties. My wife's a yard duty, dude.
I was reflecting what I was laughing at was when we had talked recently, probably within the last 2 weeks. I don't know if you remember this. And you were going to, I believe, also take something to your wife at the school. And you're like, I don't remember where she works.
Oh, that's true.
And you were trying to reach her, and obviously she was working.
Yeah.
And then you ended up calling your buddy,
Yes.
who also is, like you said,
Yes.
that was your workaround.
We were on the phone.
I'm just driving around aimlessly.
You and I were on the phone.
Yeah.
I know she works in the Roseville, Rockland area.
You're just driving
at a school.
Roseville, Rockland area.
You were blowing your whistle. Hello.
Right. Hello.
And then seeing if there was a
You
whistle.
basically told us where she works.
She's worked there for 1.5 years, and honestly, I never caught the name. And have you guys
never caught the name?
Have you ever? I hadn't. And honestly, now that you say this, I'm panicking a little bit because I don't remember it now either. She told me, obviously, I went there.
Buffalo Springfield.
You
went there?
He did.
That was the whole story. I was going there to bring her something.
You went there. You didn't go there.
I went there. No, exactly. I didn't go there. Now, I don't know, man. Like, it's one of those things you ever know people. Everyone's gone through this where like, there's somebody at work right now downstairs that I've said hello to 50 times. I don't remember their name. I don't see them that often. But you've conversed enough to where you've passed the point where you can ask them their name. That's how it is with my wife's work. I can't ask her what the name. That's why I called my buddy. Because I can't call her.
Yeah.
Oh, you don't even care enough to know the name of where I work at.
Of course I do. I know where you work. Where? I'm not going to tell you now.
Also, that was a conversation. She did say that, and she goes, She goes, imagine me not knowing where you work. And I said, where do I work? She goes, 1140, stupid. I said, no, I work for Bonneville. Sucker.
Got her.
Burned. Set the screen.
Yeah.
Does it say 1140 on my checks?
Yeah. Yeah. Does it say that? No, it says Bonneville. You know what else? Dinner's not going to make itself. Get. Yeah, that did that.
And
so
you're sleeping outside.
I can act out my fantasies here. Okay. Not at home. Big picture, guys.
Bump your booty out there, brother.
3-1 road trip was incredible.
We gave them A's, A-.
A minuses. They deserved it. Here's Doug Christie post game, fourth quarter versus the Nuggets. Doug Christie.
I have to go back and look at it, to be honest with you. Like, it's easy to come here and say a whole bunch of stuff until you go back. I mean, I thought we got a couple stops. There was the ability to score in the open court, and we weren't able to convert a couple times. And then they came right back and scored. They knocked down some knocked down some big shots. Some of those guys who were shooting and making shots, we're gonna live with them shooting and making shots, and just try to be as good as we can against MVP and Jokic. And that's kind of the game plan as far as it went. And some nights they're going to make them, some nights they're not. Tonight they made some shots, so you tip your hat to them and shake their hand and head on home.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I like the scheme. I really like the game plan. I like the idea. Jokic had killed them. He's killed a lot of teams. They were going to do a different look and then left some things open for other guys. And credit to Westbrook. I thought by the end he had a really good night.
I thought he actually had, look, and if Westbrook's going to, we talked about this before, if you're going to hold Jokic to that, I mean, hold it. It's great. It's a great line. But if you're going to hold him to that, which is holding him below most of his, I think only rebounds is where he got anywhere near his average. And he has 7 turnovers. And you're defending him with 5'3" Jake LaRavia. You're doing something right.
Yeah. And even at the end, so I think there was a couple possessions late where they left Westbrook open. He missed. Kings got the rebound. You go down, you have a chance they didn't score. The next possession left Westbrook open. He hit a 3. And you're like, I mean, you just got to capitalize when he did miss. And throughout the game they did, but at the end they didn't have a very good finish to the game.
Heard a couple people or saw a couple people on social media, and I think even on the text line earlier, that were with how bad the refs were questioning, hey, maybe it is time. And plus it was also, I think, your or Chris's random thing, would he get his first technical foul? So I think it's a fair question. Like, hey, Doug, at some point, would last night have been a place for you to take one for the team and let your feelings known? He talked about the refs yesterday.
My job is to deal with the refs, and their job is to hoop. And that's what I expect out of them. And they know this. So when they start talking to the refs and barking at the refs, I'm like, yo, chill that out. We don't do that. We here to hoop. I'll let me deal with them, and I will state our case and live to fight another day. I want their minds focused on the game plan. And for the most part, we did that. There was a little bit where we got, like I said, a little discombobulated. But in a high leverage situation, it's to be expected sometimes. You don't want it, but it happens.
Okay. I think it's a fair question then. I'll ask you, Jason. Doug has made it very clear that his players are not to deal with the refs, that is his neck of the woods. The referees lost all 4 challenges that they were challenged with last night. That we don't need a last 2 minute. We need a last 48 minute for the game. They obviously had a very bad night. Jamal Murray outshot from the line the entire Sacramento Kings team. If Doug Christie is making it incumbent upon himself to take care of the refs, is it fair to, well, of course it's fair to ask, but in your opinion, should he have been a little bit more fired up at the refs last night?
I thought he was in his version, but yeah, there's different ways to do it. And I think this would maybe even go back to the players, because part of the logic behind that of getting on the officials is to change their
next call
and their next reaction, or that's one part. The second part is, I'm DeMar DeRozan, I'm frustrated. Cool, my coach has got my back.
Right.
So if there's a net win there, sure, but I don't know. That's a tough one to prove. Doesn't mean they get the next call in your favor. You also give them a technical foul and a free throw in a close game. So, I mean, there's lots of ways to do it. Sometimes guys like, I'm just getting out of here. I'm going to see if this does a full spark to the team. I'm going to get ejected.
Mike Brown in Toronto.
Yeah. So I think you got to be authentic to yourself. And Doug, I think if I saw Doug like completely losing it, I'd be like, whoa.
Yeah, that means something.
Something to me as a player and
yeah.
probably for the official. So he didn't get quite there, but he got after him a little bit. I saw that.
I think the closest we've gotten was the Warriors, Keon Ellis, Steve Kerr coming out on the floor, Doug coming out on the floor. I think that's the closest we've gotten. And by the way, I want to be clear. I'm not criticizing Doug on this.
Right.
If anyone knows how to handle refs, it's a guy that had a 12, 13, 15-year career as a player, comes up and then coaches. Doug's going to have his way with those refs and understand what makes them work and what makes them not work. I think sometimes as a coach, it's a little bit performative.
Yeah.
And you can actually hurt the team at the, it's at the expense of the team that you're trying to make yourself look, like a white knight coming in. Sometimes it can be a negative. I would love to hear Doug talk us through that in a again, not criticizing him, just like, Doug, I know you know what you're doing on this.
Yeah.
Why didn't you lay into him last night?
The other one I would say, if I was Doug, and maybe he has said this to the team, he doesn't have to tell it to us, but they do this like the kangaroo court, Dave. Like I would, how many players, when a foul happens, challenge?
Right.
That's a really tough one for the coach because no matter who the player is, it's like, I want to show support for you, Dave, because you're telling me to challenge. But I would also say, like, behind closed doors, I'll listen. I will challenge because you are very emphatic. But if we lose a challenge, I'm fining you.
Yeah.
Or some sort
100%.
of like fun, like kangaroo court, like we're going to put it in a pot and, whatever. But like, I listened, but you were wrong.
It's funny you say that because I forgot to bring it up on the show today. I was thinking about it during the game last night. You know who should run all the Kings challenges? Keon Ellis. I think Keon Ellis is like 100% on challenges. They were even talking about it during the broadcast. Like he pretty much won't do, like Malik Monk could murder a guy in the court and he call for the replay. Buddy, the same way. God bless him.
But even after the challenges were done, Keon had a couple plays where he's got his hands up.
Right.
I'm like, Keon, they can't. They're done.
They're done. You can't do it anymore.
It's either a missed call or whatever. You're out of luck.
What to watch and last night in the NBA. We'll clean up anything we've missed so far before we get to Crosstalk with Alan Style, celebrity birthdays. And guys, it is a Cheesecake Thursday. I've been thinking about that all day. I didn't even bring a banana. That's right. We're ready for that next.
Friday night, Kings and Spurs. Game night with Scott Marsh and the high flyer Henry Turner starts at 5:30. Tip-off at 7.
The Kings play here on Sacktown Sports.
Sacktown Sports, 1140.
At Rocket, we believe everyone deserves their shot at the American dream. So if you're feeling locked out of home ownership, we're here to give you back the keys. We're opening doors, breaking down walls, and doing everything we can to turn renters into owners. And we're not going to stop until we help everyone home. To find out more, visit rocket.com. Rocket, own the dream.
ZipRecruiter is the place. ZipRecruiter is the place for talented teachers, savvy software developers, and master mixologists. ZipRecruiter is the place where you meet all these people and more. That's because ZipRecruiter is the place for job seekers who are looking for new opportunities. In fact, ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day, so you can find the right candidates right away. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
One ticket, two huge shows. The Sacramento Boat Show and the Big RV Show. Multiple dealers discounting all the best brands. Hundreds of wakeboard boats, fishing boats, and pontoon boats. Acres and acres of travel trailers, fifth wheel, toy hauler, and motorhome. And loads of ATVs too. Two shows, one massive event. The Sacramento Boat Show and the Big RV Show. On now at Sacramento's Cal Expo. Find discounts at twohugeshows.com.
When you're overwhelmed with tax debt, deciding what to do next is a true win or lose decision. You can lose your car, your paycheck, even your retirement savings, or you can choose someone to help you win this battle with the IRS. Now is the time to tackle your tax debt, but you don't have to do it alone. Meet Priority Tax Relief, veteran-owned, and the expert in tax debt resolution. Our priority is fighting for you. Our team has helped clients save millions and can reduce or even erase your tax debt. Call 800-406-1584 right now to talk to our winning team. Priority Tax Relief has a direct line to the IRS. That's right, a fast track to find out if you qualify for life-changing tax relief in just minutes. Priority Tax Relief fights to protect your money, has 5-star reviews on Google, and an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau. Why wait? Call Priority Tax Relief for your free tax consultation. Call 800-406-1584. That's 800-406-1584. Let's make your taxes our priority. Stop your tax debt now. Call 800-406-1584.
Huge savings now on new 2025 Silverado at the Maida Chevy Silverado Supercenter. With $10,250 off MSRP after rebates on select new 2025 LT models at Maida Chevy. And Maida Chevy has one of the largest selections in the Sacramento area. $10,250 off new Silverado at Maida Chevy. Now that's big, huge. See them all at MaidaChevy.com. Together, let's drive.
Not available with special financing, lease, and some other offers. 5 years off must own 2011 or newer Chevrolet.
Made a great deal at Maida.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave for my good friends at American Energy. It's cold, and American Energy wants you to stay warm and make sure your system's operating safely. Here's the deal. A $49 tune-up inspection, which is regularly $119. That's a full safety and duct inspection. But guess what? If your system's over 10 years old, the tune-up is on them. That's right. It's free. Give them a call right now. $50 off your first recommended repair. And if you need a new furnace, half off the price of a new unit. Oh, by the way, breaking news, they're hiring right now. Here's the deal. They'll train you, full benefits, generous incentive-based pay. Just call today for more details at 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990. Not only great deals from American Energy, but possibly a new career for you. Check them out at theaeway.com for an instant quote and tell them Carmichael Dave sent you.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
Hey, Aggie fans, Coach Les here. ESPN is coming to UC Davis this Saturday night to nationally broadcast our home finale versus UC San Diego. Let's pack the University Credit Union Center. It's an 8 p.m. tip. Come see T.Y. Johnson and all of our seniors one last time before we head to Vegas for the Big West Tournament.
Come root on the UC Davis men's basketball team this Saturday night and show the nation what Aggie Hoops is all about. Get your tickets now at ucdavisaggies.com. Go Ags.
Sacramento's premier country music festival, Country in the Park, is coming back May 16th and 17th at Cal Expo with Bailey Zimmerman, Billy Currington, Cole Wetzel, Nate Smith, and more. You'll enjoy food trucks, rock walls, and a mechanical bull, line dancing, and more. Single-day GA tickets start at $52 at CITPFest.com. Country in the Park, May 16th and 17th with Save Mart and McKee Brothers Plumbing and Rooter Incorporated. Find out more at CITPFest.com.
All guests come to you from the Folsom Lake Honda Hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
Carmichael Dave.
He has very good sources, and he just kind of tells it as it is and gets to the point.
Jason Ross.
He has a lot of pretty smart things to say.
He's good at what he does.
On Sacktown Sports.
Pack it up, pack it in. Let me begin. I came to. No, it's not that.
It fits.
My music hits me so hard, makes me say,
"Oh my Lord!"
No, it's not.
It's the remix.
It is the remix. Welcome back.
Shimmy, shimmy, yo, shimmy, 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 yay.
I was taking my daughter through an entire history of nu metal last night, and how.
So she doesn't clean her room, and that's how you punish her?
She's been asking. Apparently, she has a friend that's been, weirdly enough, in that group, the whole Limp Bizkit, bless you, Linkin Park, all that stuff starting to.
311,
thank you. Cypress Hill? No. Oh, yeah, that's what she asked. She goes, because I was like, yeah, it's kind of a rap rock mixture. You know, there's no real clear definition. It's more of an era. She goes, is Rage Against the Machine new metal? And I went,
and please tell me that you hit her.
No, I said no.
What?
But I understood the question. Like, I said no, but it fits some of the parameter of it. But
If you look at it at black and white on paper.
Right. But then you listen to it and you're like, no, that's not. Rage Against the Machine would kill all the Sons of Babies.
Rage Against the Machine is good. They're not metal.
No, exactly. Last night in the NBA, the Cleveland Cavaliers became the first team to clinch a playoff berth.
You go Cavs.
Way to go, Cavs.
They are in. They know it.
They can coast the rest of the year. Doesn't matter. They're done. Peyton Pritchard and Derek White became the first Celtics duo ever. That is our stat of the day provided by Jason Ross to score 40 or more in a game.
They hit 19 threes between the two of them.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, honestly, that is absolutely ridiculous. Good for them. Whatever. As long as you don't do it against us.
Yeah.
Giannis Antetokounmpo hits the 20,000-point plateau.
You're not DeRozan.
Imagine like LeBron's like, that's cute.
Yeah.
That's cute, kid. Double it and then add some and talk to me about it.
Playoffs, yeah.
I think Giannis said at one point, he goes, I still have stuff to offer. It's like, I don't know. Giannis Antetokounmpo eventually is going to be getting old. That's going to be a tough one to handle because I still feel, half me still feels like Giannis is like 19.
Really?
No, I mean, I know he's been in the league a long time when I think about it, but I don't associate Giannis with like.
I agree.
Huh?
I agree. Yeah. It doesn't feel like, it feels like he's always like a 23-year-old.
Yeah, part of it I think is how he acts like a kid. I don't mean that in a disparaging way. I mean he's just got a very
he's a fun guy.
Yeah, he's a fun guy, great sense of humor, all that.
How long ago? Their titles, like, is it 5 years ago now?
I think you're about
4 or 5.
Well, yeah, because Budenholzer was going to get fired, didn't. Then they won the title. Then the next year he got fired. Yeah. But what's funny is, well, not funny, but hey, whatever. That's a placeholder word. He is he turned 30 in December. Giannis Antetokounmpo turned 30 in December. He's in his 11th season.
Wow.
And it honestly feels like
11th
that's
season.
right.
That's great.
But it also, in a weird way, when I saw 11th season, I was like, oh, okay, so he came in at like 19. I actually want to say he was just almost 19. I could be wrong. But it also kind of feels like he started in the league at 16 and was like 5'9", 100 pounds. And then just remember when Giannis came into the league, he was a freaking beanpole, man. He was just, you could blow him over with a sneeze. And I mean, that's the type of stuff where it's like, you know, Giannis gets plenty of credit. Don't get me wrong, but just the work that has been put into that body,
right,
to get to where he is today.
I think Jason Kidd also deserves a lot of credit because he was the one like, you're going to be a ball handler. No one's going to be able to guard you. That's how you're going to be amazing.
Well, I don't disagree with you. And he had some tremendous years there, and those are formative years. I will say the one thing I think that's kind of surprised me about Antetokounmpo's career, and a lot of it's probably because he doesn't need to, but I know he's tried, dude. He's just not a three-point shooter.
Right.
He's not a three-point shooter. His career high is 30.7, other than his rookie. 34.7 his rookie year. But his career average is 28.4. And he's taken as many as almost 5 a game a couple of years ago. Like, that's you know. Either way, I'll say this. Giannis Antetokounmpo, Hall of Famer. I said it.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah.
Even if his career ends tomorrow?
Even if his career ended a year ago.
Whoa.
Time machine and all that. Exactly. You know what Giannis would actually be really could be really good at too? I think Giannis would actually be a really fun wrestler.
Yeah, he would.
He'd get into it.
Yeah.
He's been.
Has he? I would imagine he has. That doesn't surprise me. Warriors play the Nets tonight in Brooklyn. Old friend Jordy Fernandez. The Rockettes visit New Orleans and the Pelicans. And this will be an interesting one tonight. Knicks and Lakers in LA. And honestly, are the Lakers saving the NBA, Jason Ross? According to Kendrick Perkins, they are. Hey, look, we're looking at the national shows. No Lakers, no Cowboys, no Yankees, no Celtics.
For the moment.
For the moment.
Yeah. Are is Towns playing? Is he back? Because the Warriors got the break of Cat not playing.
Oh, you're asking if Carl Anthony?
Carl Anthony.
Carl. By the way, guys, Knicks at Lakers. Who's favored by how much? Just for fun.
Lakers by 5.5.
Lakers by, that is a good one, 4.5.
We do not have a correct answer, but unlike yesterday, Chris Roulade gets the title. Lakers by 3.5. Jason's not happy about that at all.
Lakers are the team to beat.
The Lakers are actually saving the NBA, and Karl Anthony Towns will be available tonight.
Interesting. Missed the Warrior game
against the Lakers. That's according to Stefan Bondi of the New York Post. Stefan.
Spud Webb will be there.
This article has everything.
MTV's Dan Cortez.
A security guard giving children of divorce a high five.
Human Roomba.
What's that?
It's that thing.
The name of the new Lakers luxury lounges.
With a password. Scotty.
Sorry.
Okay, so that when you said Giannis as a wrestler.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not making this up. For
Tony Khan.
AEW Rampage, ladies and gentlemen, the Greek Freak, Giannis Antetokounmpo.
What was his name?
Alan Styles. Freak!
What?
I got this guy. Help me out here because my memory is not what it used to be. I got this guy on the text line who's he's been texting about the Sam Amick interview, and he's been confusing me because he says that I said I wasn't sure that De'Aaron Fox asked. Dave's saying he's not sure if Fox forced his way out of town is the most ludicrous thing he's ever said. And I said, did I say Fox didn't? I don't. I got to go back and listen to the interview because now the guy's got me thinking I'm nuts, which I am.
Yeah.
Because look, I mean, there. Yeah, never mind. I don't want to Yeah. But it's kind of common knowledge that he wanted to go to San Antonio. So I'm trying to wonder what I would argue with there, how I would say it. Chris, you should know these things. We'll take a break. When we come back, hey, cheesecake time. Also, Alan Styles.
Yeah.
Also, celebrity birthdays.
Wow.
Brought to you by Crumble Cookies. We'll finish out the program next.
You never know what you might hear when listening to a Sacramento Kings game.
Out of Keegan, going for another triple. Man, is he feeling it. Keegan, can he do it? Yes, there's number 11, Keegan Murray. Keegan steps back. He just knocked down his 12th three-pointer, a Kings franchise record. He's got 45 points.
Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with Sacktown Sports and the Sacktown Sports app.
Meanwhile at Xfinity. Okay, huddle up. Do you realize how many fans stream basketball? It's madness.
But real fans stream with Xfinity Internet.
Totally. We've engineered the fastest connection.
With reduced buffering and low lag.
'Cause making streaming better is what we do!
Yeah!
Yeah!
Can we let go now? It's really not a huddle with two people.
Switch to Xfinity Internet and stream live sports from the best seat in the house. Bring on the good stuff. Restrictions apply. Not available in all areas. Actual speed vary, not guaranteed.
With 25 award-winning years in Northern California, Ashton & Price is your local injury law firm. Pro attorney tip: if a firm presents as local, but they're in LA, red flag. If your first consultation is not with a lawyer, big red flag. At Ashton & Price, your first consult is with a local attorney, and if serious injury prevents travel, a lawyer will come to you. Still not enough? George Washington's my uncle. At Ashton & Price, no red flags, just red, white, and blue.
Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton & Price.
Spring is finally here, and so are spring projects. So get them started at Harbor Freight's parking lot sale. This weekend, save on products like pressure washers for $69.99, 42-inch roller cabinets for under $500, plus 30% off Hercules corded power tools. Whatever you do it for less at Harbor Freight. Valid until 3/9/25 while supplies last. Limitations apply, so spring in before it's over.
Let's talk about an ugly word, debt. I'm Navy veteran Phil Briggs, and at my lowest point, I was drowning in credit card debt until I turned to Navy Federal Credit Union. Their Cash Rewards and Cash Rewards Plus cards now offer a 0% intro APR on credit card balance transfers for 12 months. So dominate your debt with Navy Federal Credit Union, where our members are the mission. Navy Federal is insured by NCUA. After the intro rate expires, variable APRs are 14.9% to 18%, based on credit worthiness. Rates are subject to change. ATM fees for cash advances are up to $1 at non-Navy Federal ATMs. Offer ends March 31st, 2025.
Bonneville International Radio
station contests are open to participants at least 18 years of age and older that are residents of California and who reside in one of the 6 counties that make up the Sacramento metro area, unless otherwise specified. Employees or agents of the station, Bonneville International Corporation, other area radio stations, or any entity associated with the contest are not eligible to win. Unless the station otherwise specifies in its own discretion, persons who have won in the last 30 days from a station contest or event may not be eligible. For a copy of the general contest rules, visit khdk.com.
I'm Johnny Mosley with the Toyota Tahoe Report. Time to carve up new lines in your Toyota, because anytime you're skiing on a Thursday, that's a pretty killer Thursday if you ask me. Unsettled skies over the mountain, that's never stopped any of us, right?
Thanks, Johnny. Today, Tahoe will get a new inch of snow with a high near 32. Tonight will be mostly cloudy with another half inch of snow and lows in the 20s. Tomorrow, expect sunny skies with a high near 37. This report is brought to you by your local Toyota dealers. Toyota, let's go places.
Progressive knows if you have to choose between everyday life and your RV, RV wins.
What, are you going to take the RV to the lake or clean out your closet? RV wins! Putting the dishes away or taking the RV camping? RV wins! Cleaning the fridge or taking a trip to the beach? RV wins!
You might want to clean the fridge real quick because, mold.
We clean out the fridge, then take the RV out.
With Progressive, you can bundle your RV with your home or auto and save with a discount and spend more time enjoying those savings in your RV. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states and situations.
Do you find yourself stuck in a timeshare? Get the real facts about the timeshare industry and your options for cancellation. Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, has put together a free information guide that reveals the secrets the timeshare industry doesn't want you to know, including the 5 ways to get rid of your timeshare. Call now and get this timeshare cancellation guide absolutely free.
Call 800-235-5588. That's 800-235-5588. 800-235-5588.
It's time for the news of the day.
The latest headlines, the biggest stories, hard-hitting analysis.
Yeah, this is none of those things.
And now,
here's Carmichael Dave and Jason Ross.
Hey. Chris is in here mangling the cheesecake. Jason, before he reacts, question.
Yeah.
Will Alan have a piece?
Yeah.
Easy. What?
I think he will.
You think he will?
Yeah.
Oh.
Hello. Here, I'll plug you in.
Yeah, hey, Alan needs my outlet. Yeah, that's fine, because I'm over here. Yeah. Yep. Good.
Flip it?
Well, oh, yes.
Gosh, I was looking
at
you.
No, you were. Oh, my God, that could have been disastrous.
Yeah, could have been.
Alan Stiles.
Here's a guy.
There's a guy.
He's ready to go, I can tell.
Alan Stiles.
What's up, Alan?
Nothing. Just dealing with annoying plane stuff, airfare.
Oh, you going somewhere?
Yeah, where are you going?
Well, I'm trying to be better. I've been terrible with, racking up points and I'm
not using them.
I'm getting old now, so I'm trying to be better. So I try to log in, or I try to create an account on Southwest, and they say you already have an account. Okay.
Can't find your password?
It gets it gets crazier.
It's crazier.
So I'm trying to I use my email, my initial email, doesn't work. I use my old email, Yahoo back in the day, doesn't work. Use my AOL email, doesn't work. I'm thinking, what the heck is going on? I search it, and I see a forward from Southwest from my mother. So my mother made these, I guess, minor accounts when me and my sister were minors, okay? But Southwest is still connected to it because of my phone number. So now I'm calling my mom, and that's why I'm late. And she says, well, you need to call Southwest. I said, no, Mom, just remove, remove me. Just remove me.
Hey, Ma.
So that's what I'm dealing.
Meatloaf and Southwest account.
Is that strawberry cheesecake?
Sure.
So obviously it was frozen, and I don't know, the thawing is kind of.
I don't know who that's for, but
I think we could have used a better knife as well.
You what?
I think we could have used a better knife.
That is a lot.
Chris, you can just have it.
What?
This is Roger. Roger, who called in and said I had mental issues.
Okay.
And then I think we made up. And then his family yelled at him for being mean. And they have a homemade cheesecake place. from the Bay and Back or something. What's the info, Chris?
To the Bay and Back cheesecake.
To the Bay and Back. And is that the website too?
Yes.
Yeah. We'll give him a plug. To the Bay and Back cheesecake.com. Tell Roger, Carmichael Dave.
Sent you.
Yeah. So anyways, Roger showed up after the show and brought us
In person?
In person.
Yeah.
Before the show was over, maybe an hour later, drove over with a cheesecake, and then we were going to have it Tuesday, but I was gone. This is Monday's show. I was in LA, and then yesterday it was still frozen. So here we go. To the Bay and Back.
Oh no!
What?
I'm just now realizing why we should have done this yesterday.
Why?
Because it's Lent.
What does that mean?
Jason gave up sweets.
Did you really?
Did you?
Oh no! Can you give him up, but except for now? How does that work?
You
I
just
don't know. What about a pass?
add a
Tax some
day
days on.
after Easter.
Well, but yeah, can you do that?
I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think that's part of the
I've
rules.
done that all the time. Yeah, well, you know what I gave up?
What?
How do I say this? Cooking. You know the cooking that I like to do before games?
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
How are you doing that?
Frankie and Brendan and Chris are saying there's no way you make it.
Yeah,
I'm gonna make it. I'm just gonna keep looking at my bank account.
Sacrifice.
I'm gonna keep looking at my bank account saying, see?
It stayed solid.
This is great. This is great. Or I could be up.
What I could have done tonight.
Oh, yesterday I was itching.
Yeah.
Malik Monk out.
Hey Siri,
Did you take a
what happens if I give up sweets for Lent, but then I relent and have sweets one time?
He can save it and eat it on Sunday. On Sunday, you can do what you gave up.
All right. Roger's on line one. Hey, Roger, about to try your cheesecake, pal. Good morning.
Hey, good morning. Hey, I wanted to say that a lot of people are listening to you, Dave, and thanks to Chris. And reach out to me, Dave. I reached out to you on Instagram, and I'd like to break bread with you with that biscuits and gravy. That's one of my favorite breakfast items. And so let's get together because my family thinks you're a marketing genius. That's why I drove over there.
All right. So just to recap. So what you're saying is, Roger, you called the show. You berated me for being a psycho. We had a great conversation. No, hold on. I plugged your cheesesteak place. You got a bunch of business, and now you want me to eat a meal together.
Biscuits and gravy.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, well, hey, man, at least you're honest. I love it. Let's do it, bro. I'm serious. Now I'm looking at I never check Instagram, so I
Did
see
you
it
miss
right
the
now.
part where he said his family thinks you're a marketing genius?
I'm not.
Well, that's what they told me. That's what they told me. So I rushed over. I was heading out of town. I said, let me stop over there and drop it off.
Listen.
And make sure you give that lady who let me in because I could have been a psycho. She let me in. She was very kind, and hopefully you'll save a piece for your family, too.
No, I won't. But I just finished an entire piece of cheesecake while talking to you. It's that good. It was really good. Listen, I'm going to be honest. I wouldn't say it sucked if it did. I would be polite. But I wouldn't lie and say, like, I literally pounded an entire slice of cheesecake while we were talking. But, Roger, let me ask you this. You said you could have been a psycho, and that lady downstairs let you in. Just so you know, she's no longer with the company for that exact reason. You could have been a psycho, and she just let you in, dude. That's our first line of defense, and she failed. Your thoughts?
Well, you know what I did is I told her I was delivering a cheesecake to Carmichael Dave.
Okay.
And she said, okay. And that was it.
Great. Well, anyone else out there
Big
that
wall.
wants to take a piece of me, just say you're delivering a cheesecake. They just cracked the code. Roger, I'll respond to you on Instagram, and I'll plug it right now. It's To the Bay and Back Cheesecakes on Instagram.
Cheesecake, no S.
Cheesecake. Well, it says it on Instagram. It's got an S at the end. Sorry. To the Bay and Back Cheesecakes on Instagram. I'm looking at them right now. And it's incredibly good. It's incredibly good. I'll say that. So there you go. That's a ton of free plugs for you, Roger, for being mean to me.
Okay. Well, I tried to make up by bringing the cheesecake, so hopefully we can get past that.
We are. We're past it now. I'm looking forward to biscuits and gravy, my man.
Yeah. Hey, and thank you to Chris too, because he got the website right. Thank you.
All right. That's not as, but more thanks to me though, right?
Oh, definitely you.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Appreciate it. Thanks, Roger. Roger's a good guy. That was a great part. That was maybe my favorite part of the show this week. You took a argument, and Roger and I are now fast friends. And these cheesecakes are really good. Celebrity Birthdays brought to you by Crumble Cookies. He's still on a Southwest thing.
Yeah. On this date, in what year was the movie The Big Lebowski released?
The most overrated movie of all time.
1998.
I agree.
Are you going to agree with Chris? 1998? He could be wrong sometime.
He never is.
Alan? You go for the trifecta?
97.
We have a correct answer. It's 1998. Happy birthday to Shaquille O'Neal.
The big
birthday.
Hold on, I'm going to get this one here.
Yeah, you're right.
55.
Gotta go.
54. 54.
I would know. I was going to
54. It's 54.
55.
54.
Correct answer is 53 for Shaquille O'Neal. Happy birthday to Dolphins coach Mike McDaniel.
38.
How old are his ankles?
38.
39.
37.
42 for Mike.
He looked like a Miami drug dealer.
Happy birthday to Tom Arnold. Where's he been lately?
True Lies.
Yes.
Great movie. Tom is 68.
Carpool.
70.
He is 66.
Correct answer. Christopher Ladd, 66. Tom Arnold.
I'm the biggest Tom Arnold fan you've ever met.
Yeah. There you go. That will end there.
Tom Arnold wrestle.
Good.
What's coming up, Alan?
Cheesecake.
Round table at 12. I try not to victory lap too much as I correctly predicted 3-1. Frankie, Chris, and Brendan join us, and we go glass half empty, glass half full on last night's game. And DeMar DeRozan's offense, chicken or the egg, as it pertains to too much ISO ball. All coming up next on the Alan South Show.
Let the BMC tomorrow. Love you all. Bye-bye now.
Friday night, Kings and Spurs. Game night with Scott Marsh.